Oh, I couldn't look you up on iTunes.
I couldn't find the friends. It's like you're always stuck in second gear.
You stupid bastards.
Hasn't been your day, your month,
last week
your
was
week.
Last week was be nice to the listeners. Now it's time to talk shit about everybody.
Yeah. Hi, by the way, hi.
Hello, Internet.
Hello,
Get fucked.
Internet.
You all suck.
I mean, the entire internet?
Yeah, every one of them.
Oh,
Everybody out there. All 8 billion people.
The entirety of the world. Have we crossed 8 billion? Are we over that yet now?
I think we're
we?
pretty close, or we've
Okay.
gone over. Every man, woman, and child on this earth.
It's just weird.
It's a piece of shit.
I feel like, 5-10 years ago, I mean, it's probably longer than that now because time doesn't mean anything, but I feel like it was like things made a really big deal when we hit the 7 billion mark. Like, it was just something that was like, and I feel like we're just going to cross 8 and everybody would be like, whatever, it's another billion.
We are 7.951 billion as of
Ooh, so
2022.
close.
As of 2022.
So
but
we're probably there.
Worldometer.
Oh, yeah, we made it.
we done fucked our way into that by now.
Worldometer.
God,
I mean, literally.
The Worldometer says
I hope that's it.
8.1 billion.
That's a good ometer.
Yeah.
It sounded like I just did a rap lyric that got edited on the radio, but that's a good ometer.
That's a good motherfucker-ometer.
Yeah.
Is what he actually said.
Yeah, it's true. Welcome to Lil Wayne on the radio.
I like that our subscriber count went way up recently.
Did it?
Yes.
Cool.
Like, it was at like 1.1 for a very long time. Now it's at 1.24.
Thanks, nerds,
Yeah.
for coming in at the last
Hi,
second.
everyone.
Maybe we'd still be doing this shit if you had subscribed in the first place.
Nope.
Whoa,
Fucking nerds.
easy, Jesus.
Now we're just getting
I mean,
aggressive towards all
Come
of them.
on,
Like,
guys.
God.
Hey, why? I think we're gonna double up on the audio.
Yeah, I think you can. You should leave the bell rung. You never know. We may
Yeah.
just show up. Like we
Yeah.
may just be hanging
would
out one day and be
subscribe
like,
to
"Hey, let's talk some shit about something." And boom, here we are. What color should I be? Green. Oh, damn! That got fucking bright, man.
Well, you looked at it, didn't you?
I did.
Don't look at the light.
I know. Boy, on the behind me, it doesn't look green. It's yellow. Can't reach that. There we go. Yellow. I bet yellow looks more green than green does.
Mm-hmm. I'll write a song for that.
More human than human.
I'll write a song for you. And everything is true. It was all yellow.
Song's all right. Yes, Robert, it will get read. Email stays up, website stays up, Discord stays up, YouTube channel stays up.
We're going to stay up.
They just don't get updated.
Stay strapped.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Oh, and I have a thing to email you for some point
Ooh.
Who?
towards the end. You?
Me?
Yes. That's for us, but it's
Like a thing that needs to go?
Someone sent it to you to send to us?
Yeah.
Oh, really? Who?
Our old friend Jackie.
Is it going to require
I
playing?
It will require playing, yeah.
is it to play during the episode?
Sure.
Okay, because Jackie hinted at this to me.
Okay.
I think I know what it is.
Jackie! Sorry.
I'm gonna make sure this shit's muted.
Episode 227.
There we go. Definitely muted.
Hey, that was a good time to have it.
Hey.
Yeah, right?
Hey.
Good test. Hey.
Thanks, Ed. We were wondering what happened, why you didn't call or write, why you just completely ignored the whole mailbag thing that we harassed people to write into for months.
I wouldn't say we
Literally
harassed.
months.
We more harangued.
Every time we had an episode, we were like, hey, you know what you should do? Right before we do the mailbag episode, you should write us or call us. And I'm glad, Ed, that you made the choice to not do that. So thank you. Ed can handle it.
Salty.
I meant everybody but Ed.
I think I've been friends with Ed for like almost 20 years now. Strangely enough.
You've known Ed since before the podcast?
I did. He found my old blog, which had the 24 drinking game on it.
Oh,
And somehow we became friends through that. I don't even remember, like, because this was like pre-Twitter and all that. So I don't even know like how that happened. But yeah, it was almost 20 years now.
I just probably should wear an IATSE shirt. I had to try to explain what IATSE was to somebody the other day.
Oh, really?
Was it you? Did I not say
You
that
didn't
on here?
You didn't have to explain it to me.
No, so I
I'm
don't.
wearing this shirt.
I understand. I'm just saying. It's weird because I don't have a lot of like social interactions where I just casually dropped IATSE as a thing, and somebody was like, "What?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, right. Sorry, my brain, not yours." And I had to explain. We're talking unions or something. And
International Association of Theater and Stage Electricians.
Yeah.
I want to point out I have the vintage BMFcast shirt.
You do.
The one we made like 5, I think, total. Or was it only 4?
6.
I think we each got 2.
6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey.
Because do we make these pre-Chuck?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It was way early, actually.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
really.
I mean, Tobias's design is better.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. But these are still pretty sweet shirts. They've held up.
I mean, that was literally just.
Surprisingly, yeah.
I don't wear it very often because I don't want to.
I mean that.
And it was so expensive to make each one.
That shirt is a real wallet that I took a picture of.
Yep.
And then you did the faux embossing
Yes.
on the wallet. Mm-hmm. And then I just found a stock footage of an explosion, like a real explosion.
Yeah.
So that's what
Yep.
the background was.
Yeah.
I
And
mean,
then we
I believe
refined
that's
it.
I believe that's actually like a military demolition, like test explosion.
Yeah. And then I refined it to just be like the fireball behind it later, which, now that I look at it, I'd probably add some feathering to the edges and give it a little more transparency. But
Yeah.
that's how every designer looks at literally everything they've ever made.
Right. Good old Typhoon. Gone too soon, Typhoon.
Said nobody in the South China Sea.
Right.
Good old Typhoon.
So who gave us the gift, the going away gift?
A friend who wishes to remain anonymous.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do I know this friend?
You do not.
Okay. Well, thank you, unknown friend.
That's why they want to remain anonymous. They don't.
They
want
don't
to know
ever
you.
want me to know.
They don't want to know
Good
you.
job, friend. I'm so happy you took down Wall Street.
Damn.
Oh, I thought we were still being salty to everyone. Sorry.
Nah.
Yes, Typhoon is also Shakma.
Yes.
Here you go. Here's a glass for you.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Do you want a glass?
Sure. .tumblr.com.
Look at yes. Hand him a tumbler.
Yes.
.tumblr.
I want to drink prosecco out of my brandy glass.
That's a red wine glass.
Okay.
I'd venture.
Yeah. It is stemless. Whoa.
I'm just ringing in the end of the
A
times.
farewell.
Yeah.
The end times.
All right. So, cheers, Ian.
Man.
I have no idea how to open up a thing like this.
So there
Just
Is
bite
there
into
like a
it.
twist top?
it's probably a twist top.
Really?
Yeah.
I was joking, but okay.
No, it's actually it'll.
I
Where's
thought
the?
maybe it was gonna have like a tiny. Cork.
Usually, you got the little thing that'll.
Yeah,
I was
usually
hoping it was
there's a
gonna be a
tab
tiny,
somewhere.
tiny cork.
I think these will have a cork, but yeah, to get all the damn foil off, you gotta cut it kind of. Oh, did you just turn it?
I just turned it.
I
yeah.
just turned it. Yeah.
Oh no,
I got turned up. Or turned out. I
the
don't know.
entire thing.
Well, turned out is totally different.
This thing's turned on me.
Turned down for what?
Oh, I got turned out. I said that's
Oh, you got
totally
turned out.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
totally different. That's what I'm going to be
Yes.
doing after the podcast to make money.
So wait, so
Oh wait, there's a whole other layer here. God damn it!
yeah,
That's like a wax
is
topping.
oh yeah, it is a twist.
Oh.
What a twist!
Oh, look at that!
I was hoping to just do the
Oh, that smells like.
yeah,
sparkling
good
wine.
old prosecco. Hey, thank you, friend. You're not that late. PPT,
Pipit.
Pierre. I believe that's Pierre. If you're not Pierre, I'm sorry. But you're not late. We haven't started the official episode yet. We've just started drinking.
That's effervescent. Listen to all that effervescence.
Oh yeah, I remember that 40th birthday shout out. I think.
Oh, that's
Do
right.
you remember that? I don't remember your name, but I remember being contractually obligated to do it because of all the money she gave us.
And Robert,
That's
we're not ruling anything out. I don't know about live streams necessarily, but I feel like we may put out random stuff.
I mean, all
once
of
in a
this
while.
equipment is still in my house,
Yeah,
and I still have internet for now.
yeah.
So, who knows what happened.
This is weird.
Is that cracked? Or is that just something in the glass? Yeah, it's just a little
Oh well.
detritus.
Cheers, fellas.
Oh,
We
yeah.
made it.
Cheers. We made it 600 episodes. Now for season 2.
Yeah, the college years.
That ain't bad. I don't drink champagne or any of that very often.
Could be worse.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's what was available. So,
Man.
real champagne is expensive, and
Yeah.
it's not like we're celebrating anything big. We're leaving, so you
Yeah.
don't
Yeah,
want
it's just
to spend a bunch of money on
If
us.
you bitches is enjoying my sparkling wine.
I feel like that should be said with a sparkling, but
I said sparkling wine.
sparkling.
I mean, it's not a lisp. It's
at least
just,
this is small.
It's sort of a lisp. I don't know.
What is the alcohol content on these sorts of things?
It's more like a Terrence Howard lisp
10?
than
14?
Chill well before opening. Contents are under pressure. Do not shake. Point away from self and others.
11%. I was
Okay.
close.
I gave blood today, so this is going to go well.
Easy peasy.
Oh well. They just told me not to work out.
They didn't say you couldn't drink, so good to go.
Actually, they did, but
Who what?
I donated blood today, and they give you specific instructions not to work out, lift anything heavy, or drink.
Why? It's a cheap date.
Yes.
You have less
You're
blood,
right.
blood to get the alcohol into.
Yeah.
To
And
have,
I actually-
to have the content.
Yeah, and I actually have worked out after giving blood, and what happens is you basically get a huge hematoma where they did the extraction, so to speak.
Sure.
Yeah,
Fun.
it's
Well,
not
I'm
great.
saying there's no benefit to working out post giving blood. There's a benefit to drinking.
There
post-giving
is.
blood. Yeah.
Woo! Be trashed this episode.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we did one of those.
It has been.
There was that
yeah.
one we got. Chuck had one drink and he was all tipsy,
Yeah.
and that was fun.
Doing college mascots.
Yeah,
That's a good point, Jason.
yeah. But also, Jason, we're in our 40s, dude. We just don't drink a lot anymore. I mean, I hate to put it that way, but we actually went to a Korean barbecue place with our neighbors on Saturday night, and they basically have I don't want to say Das Boot, but you can actually order a giant boot with like a lighted icicle thing in the middle, and it's like a gallon
Jesus.
of
Beer?
whatever beer you have chosen, and yeah. And so I was
A
like,
gallon of beer is
I was
so
like,
much.
well, that's the thing. I'm like, I'll have a Yingling, and then my buddy's like, how about that boot thing? And I was like, you can cancel that Yingling. I will just drink from the boot. I mean, it has a little tap on it.
Oh, okay.
It's
All
not
right.
like you're all just sharing the boot, because that would be just.
We don't do that anymore.
Again, I'm in my 40s. Like, that would be undignified.
I'll still drink, like
And
occasionally I'll go have 6 beers in a night, but
I do at the neighbor's house. Like, if I am driving anywhere, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But like if I'm walking home, yeah, that's happened a few times. Yeah. And Kyle, I will have you know, my wife is close to your age, and she has never been drunk either. So, solidarity, both of you. Some people just don't like it. Some people don't like the feeling of not being in control. So, and I can understand that.
I'm still in control.
Especially
I'm just louder.
women. Women especially, like, I can completely understand
Oh,
that.
sure. Yeah.
Sure.
I think that's why I am feeling poorly today, Matt. I think I slept the wrong way, and my back is fucking killing me. So
Yeah.
That is, there are like several dumb old jokes that will always
your
go
face
back.
is killing me.
No, I mean, like, it's the dumbest old joke. It's from an episode of Bewitched, they're
Taking it back.
Yeah, I know. It is just like one of those things that like is stuck in my head for forever. It was I can't remember his name, Uncle Traveling Matt. I know it's from the Fraggle Rock, but whatever. The uncle that would occasionally visit Samantha, came in and he was like, "Oh man, I just got in and my feet are killing me." And because they're witches and shit, he's got his feet up on the ottoman and like they cut down to his feet and there's like 2 revolvers and they're like shooting at his face. And it's just
What?
Yeah, I mean, because it's just like, it's an illusion or whatever, but it's it manifests that it's like his feet were actually like shooting at him, and it's the dumbest joke, and it's like always stuck in my head anytime anyone ever says like my something is killing me. I always just imagine that body part with a gun.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, getting old is lame.
Don't do it. Highly unrecommended.
It's better than the alternative. But yeah, I just love that in my 20s. I was like, yeah, I lived on a buddy's couch for like a month. It was the best. And now I'm like, I fell asleep on the couch. That was the worst.
I'm gonna have to call in sick for the rest of the week.
Yeah. I stood wrong at my standing desk. I will now go cry for forever.
Yeah. Well, my last major pain.
Major pain.
Major pain, yeah. Was from sitting up on the couch wrong. I was laying down on the couch and I pushed myself up with my shoulder, or with my right arm, and something in my shoulder just went, fuck you. Yeah. And so my shoulder hurt for a month.
Yep.
It was great.
Yeah. I had to explain getting old to our Gen Z social media manager at work. And I was like, okay, think about like when you go, like say you had one of your soccer games and you ran a ton and then you went out with everyone drinking and you got home at 3 and then you got to work by 8 and you're like, man, I feel like shit. I was like, that's every day. That is literally every day now. And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. No, I can see that. I'm like, yeah, you will.
It's a really good, it gets better speech you just gave them. I know you don't want to lie to the young people.
Yeah, if you're Gen Z, I'm sorry.
It does not get better.
Yeah, you're not owning a house. You're probably not even owning a car. I'm sorry. But you know what? At least you have podcasts like ours to wash away that pain.
Yeah. At least you had.
Oh, wait. Not anymore.
At least you have your vertical videos on TikTok until Congress takes that away.
Yep. Oh, man.
Everybody whose favorite podcast is still recording episodes, take a step forward. Not so fast, everyone in the chat.
Not so fast, BMFcast fans.
So stupid.
You know, that joke works every time for us, though. Every time. Oh, man. Yeah. It is funny just thinking about how we were like, oh, we're going to be in an old folks' home still doing this shit.
Yep.
And then I was like,
well, we're in Harlow's home, so yeah, same thing.
I mean, it smells slightly less of urine than a traditional old folks' home, but maybe more cat.
And I am wearing an icy hot patch right now, so.
Yeah.
Wait, how did I become the youngest one here? How did this happen?
Don't worry, you didn't. You just work out more than us.
I mean, Chuck left, so that was, you definitely got rid of the official oldest, but oh man.
Yeah, I mean, I can't take that credit. I was just making Bewitched references over here, so.
Yeah.
What? Hey, thanks, Nick at Night.
So do you want to tell them the pact you almost talked us into?
I don't think I would almost talk anybody into it. It was just
I thought about it for a few minutes.
I mean, this was like...
I think BJ was out. I think regardless, BJ was out.
Yeah, instantly out. I didn't actually think I would actually... All right, so I casually texted... I've been thinking about it on and off again for like a couple weeks, but I waited till like the day before to give it, I think honestly maybe just to like... I thought maybe you might just be like, I'm going to do it and not think about it, but... I was like, in honor of us no longer being podcasters, I thought we should all shave our beards.
Oh, see, I read it as you were
going
to do that.
I was going to do it. I was throwing it out there if anyone else wanted to be, I didn't expect any takers, as I said, because they take.
I can't.
You can't?
Jen won't let me.
Okay.
She'll be repulsed by me without a beard.
Oh. Okay.
She also will not let me shave my head either.
I mean, I thought it was like for better or worse and all that.
Yes, it is.
Okay,
But it's
just also
like,
with facial hair as a caveat. Pre.
yeah, no, she just. I have shaved before, and she's been like, no,
Yeah.
no, and it takes longer to grow it back than you think it's going to take. Like, well, actually, to get past like the shitty stage that doesn't look right.
Not anymore. I mean, like last time I did. No, I just mean like once I've let it grow. Like last time I mean, you saw it came back in like 2 or 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but regardless, since I've committed to have relations only with her, I would like the possibility of that happeing.
Sure, I guess
at some point.
To me, it was like
for the rest of my life.
It was it was a
shaving my beard in my head would severely would severely limit that possibility.
I just thought that like I could live with like 2 weeks of lack of facial hair while it grew back for a joke. I also thought about taking my new hair and styling it into a faux hawk, but then I was like, that wouldn't work with the headphones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
I was actually trying to practice my my faux hawk era David Beckham voice. The kind of high pitched voice that David Beckham had.
I know nothing about what David Beckham
Oh, you never
sounds
actually
like.
heard David Beckham.
No.
He's got a real weird high pitched
David
voice.
Beckham
David,
from
yeah.
David Beckham from
Yeah,
New
I'm gonna,
Zealand.
I
New Zealand.
I like to keep the football and make it slightly bend,
Hello, I'm David Beckham.
Yeah, it's not. Yes, he's a Monty Python character.
No, that's Posh Spice. That's what she sounds
Yeah.
like.
Oi,
Hello. Hey.
you chutney farmer.
Is that a bad phrase?
Yes,
Shit.
it is. But
It's so good though.
Yeah.
That's what's so unfortunate about it.
I mean, the thing is like if you do the etymology, if you know what chutney is and looks like,
Yeah.
then one
Yeah.
that farms it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's a shame.
right, yeah.
Ding. Oh man.
I'm not sure I
Hey,
understand
Jonathan.
what the uphill gardener joke is. I'm not sure I can follow how that one works. I mean, I think I
Plowing uphill.
plowing uphill. I guess.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
is that simple? Is it's?
I think it's
just-
that
Yeah.
simple. Yeah.
Sometimes okay. So just while we're on the whole like Anglophile versus not discussion, I had to spend entirely too long, and I thought I had a very simple explanation. Shiny Lights T-Straw and I were having a conversation, which you know how that typically goes, where he really did not understand British currency and all of its various
Pounds and pence and all that.
pounds, pence,
Shillings.
And then he was like, and then what's a quid? I was like, quid's just a
Same thing as
I
pound,
was like,
yeah.
that's a pound, and he's like, but then why do they call it a quid? And isn't that 5 pounds? And I was like, no. All right, let me explain this. It was like, if our largest quarter, our largest coin at this point is the quarter. So if we called our dollar, we would call them quads. Because there's was a 20-cent piece or 20 pence piece, so that's 20. 5 of them was a quid.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
that
I
was
didn't
that was
know
their
the etymology.
that was their largest coin piece, and so a dollar, which was a bill at the time, is now a coin, but that was 5 of those, so thus a quid. And I thought that was a very simple explanation, and he was like, but why do they call them quids? Why don't they just call them pounds? I was like, if someone from another country came to ours and
Why
they
do
were
they
like,
call them? Why do they only call them like? Why don't they call them bucks?
right, exactly. Well, that's why.
Yeah, or why- yeah.
That's what I did. I was like, it would not be uncommon to walk into a store here and someone would be that that would be $5. And if you were someone from another country, you'd be like, the fuck is a buck? You use the U.S. dollar. I was like, it's the same thing. It's colloquial. It's I was just like, it's and I was
Right.
like,
Well,
I
yeah.
can't explain that any easier than that. A quid
there's-
is five.
And a
20
Canadian
pieces.
is a loony, as Hula has pointed out.
And then there's a
also
toonie
welcome,
also.
Stephen.
There's and J-Mac is there.
Mm.
Toonies is the $2 coin.
Yeah,
I don't know if they actually have 2 loons on them or not, but
probably not. It's just fun to say toonie.
What, you mean 2 different people from the government? Oh,
Oh,
oh my god.
PBT has confirmed toonies.
Yep. What? Like I'm gonna lie to you guys, or the internet in general?
yeah. If you really like your stripper, you huck toonies at him.
Yeah.
So, should we do a podcast?
Oh, right.
No.
Right. That's what we're supposed
yeah.
to That's
If
why
we
we're
just
here.
fucking stall
Oh,
for a
right.
day.
Yeah, sorry.
See how long we can keep everyone here before we actually do the podcast.
It'll be 11:30
Just
before we start.
bullshitting.
yeah, I suppose we should start.
There's somebody over in England who's like, "Oh, for the love of sweet Christ!"
I understand why we called a quid. Fuck off.
It's 3 a.m. You must be lonely.
I know. I guarantee you there is some UK person that is listening that is like I never knew that. That's why we. I'm just saying.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. For any weird thing, it's somebody's like, oh shit, I
Lies.
never knew that.
Ooh, Florins.
All right, welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey,
Hey,
BMFcast.
BMFcast.
Episode. What number?
It's a big one, I think. Large number, I mean. I don't think it's important.
Did we have the extra epic intro this time?
Oh,
I
we
think
probably
so.
did. Yeah, it's probably you
Oh,
probably
we
already know.
probably
It's
did.
episode 600.
Woo!
It's the last episode. It's the finale.
This is the final countdown.
This is the end, but with less
Yeah.
people that we don't talk about anymore.
You remember
Yeah.
episode 1 when we played the final countdown? We've reached it.
Oh, yeah.
We have.
Yeah. Happy 600th episode, everyone.
So in case you're wondering, like you're just like, I'm going to check these
Yeah.
people out of the very last episode. My name's Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
and what we've done each and every episode is we go and we watch a quote unquote bad movie. And we come in here and talk about it. Then they get ratings: good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
Robot Jocks.
However,
The best.
there are bad movies, and stay away. They get a negative sliding scale: 1 to 5 bags and some giant bags of trash.
Boo.
Gross.
So.
Get him out of here.
We went around a lot on exactly how to wrap this all up. I will let you in that like we considered rewatching Robot Jocks. We considered lots of things. I think the two leading things that we finally came down to were sort of stepping back to things that we've enjoyed in the past and kind of like seeing their roots that we somehow skipped.
Yeah.
One of them being Dallas Connection, the first Andy Sedaris joint, which is I feel vastly different from the tone of the other ones. And also what we ended up doing, which is Unmasking the Idol, the precursor to Order of the Black Eagle, because we just kind of discovered that way back in the day, sort of by accident. Didn't realize until after the fact that it had a precursor movie.
Yep.
I think we all sort of ran around and watched it on our own, but we
Yeah,
didn't cover it officially.
it's been like 8 years
Yeah.
since I watched it, so I had forgotten a lot of it,
Yeah.
which was for the best.
So,
It was
Turns
like
out I had not watched it.
oh,
Oh,
well, there you go.
okay.
So I think I mentioned that I thought I had watched it, but I have definitely not.
Okay. Well, that's what we ended up watching. So
Yeah.
it's from 1986. It's Worth Keeter's one of his. He directed multiple movies, but the star Duncan Jacks or Ian Hunter. This is his only series. He just
Yeah.
showed up, was I am Duncan Jacks, and then
and never again.
yeah. It's kind of weird because, I mean, he's not, I wouldn't say he's like a super charismatic guy, but he's not an off-putting guy by any stretch of the imagination.
He's
He's like a British James Caan, sort of, without the baggage that goes along with that.
yeah, it's kind of, and also he's kind of every once in a while he's got a Chevy Chase look to him.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
A little, like you could laugh, like James Caan has that, like, I don't want to fuck with you kind of look, but, you know.
Yeah.
I was also getting John Lithgow vibes
Okay.
early in the movie. For
So
some
there you
reason.
go. Yeah, he's somewhere. I got
He's
James
that kinda
Caan.
guy.
He got, yeah. Everybody. He's a guy. But
Yeah.
yeah. He's
But the thing I realized in looking up like the filmographies of everyone in this movie, most of them show up again in Order of the Black Eagle.
Yes.
Not necessarily same characters, but they show up again.
Including our hero and yours, Typhoon,
Typhoon. Yes.
who is a baboon.
Yep.
yes,
Who in this
Typhoon the
movie-
baboon,
Yeah, goes by Boone.
Yep.
which is just the last part of baboon.
He is. Keep in mind, this is the one who was driving a tank in Order of the Black Eagle.
Yes, this is the talented Typhoon, aka Shakma.
Yep. He played uncredited, but he played Shakma.
yeah, and he's also the same baboon you might have seen in the Jeff Goldblum Fly for like a few seconds that
Yeah.
got teleported. I think unsuccessfully. I think he was one that turned inside out. But
Yeah.
spoilers.
Hollywood's most talented baboon,
Yeah.
Typhoon.
Yeah, I think his special
This summer
talent
on
was
Fox.
not ripping the face off of any of his co-stars.
Right.
Well, that is a singular
That's an
talent
achievement,
amongst
yeah.
baboons, really.
I mean, he even gets smiled at by Duncan Jacks, and he does not immediately rip his face
There's
off.
explosions going off around him, and
Yeah.
he jumps at Ian Hunter, Duncan Jacks, for comfort, not for I'm going to rip your face off, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, as you like the James Bond movies that this is parodying. Ask Donald Pleasance how animals react well around explosions. Yeah.
I love that I saw that at some point in one of the rewatches of of You Only Live Twice, and I just can't ever unsee it again.
Yeah, that cat just lays into him.
Oh my God. And he, consummate professional, just keeps rolling while that cat is losing its shit.
Yep.
Beautiful.
Anyway, yes. Yeah. I mean, the concept of this movie is a little less high as Word of the Black Eagle. I mean, this is a little more generic spy parody kind of thing.
More ninja stuff in
as
this
in
one.
coming up with this concept is easier if you're not high.
Yeah. Well, I just mean like the idea of like resurrecting cryogenically frozen Hitler is pretty high concept in the spy genre realm, whereas this is just a generic guy or person with a island who's collecting, maybe going to do nefarious things. It's never really discussed. It's just they have money, they might fund nefarious things, we have to go get it.
They've stolen a bunch of gold.
At some point they say, or at least in the synopsis it says, that they were going to use that to start World War III.
Okay, sure.
And the thing is too, like, this is a live action cartoon. This is a live action G.I. Joe episode.
Absolutely.
There is just no way around any other description of it.
Which I fully believe that were I given the money and sets and personnel to achieve it, is exactly the kind of movie I would want to make. That is
almost word for word what I wrote in my review 8 years ago.
Yeah, just I feel like if someone said you can make a movie and it basically just bring all the sensibility that you had as a kid, all the things you thought were possible as a kid before anyone told you, no, you can't actually do that, you would die horribly, and all the things, like when you see a car carrier or a tow truck and you're like, I can jump off that, or you see two buildings and you're like, I could jump between those, or moving cars and you're like, I could jump off of that easily, all of those things that before you learned about physics and stuff.
Yeah, this is the movie that does all that.
Yeah,
this is really the movie that, when you think about how you pretended to, like 80s kids that we were, pretended to shoot somebody and you do the thing and then they're going to flail around and die. Like, that's all this sort of shit. And like, if you thought you were a ninja, these are the moves that you would make as a ninja.
If you thought you were a baboon,
yeah,
these are the moves you would make as a baboon.
Yeah, you would be hucking dynamite.
Yes. Or jumping off of people.
I mean, as I was watching this, I just the only thing I could think of in my head was the word foot pegs, and I know that's weird, but like all I could think of is like the fact that they would put foot pegs on G.I. Joe vehicles in the coolest and weirdest places that made you think, oh, clearly you can stand on the outside back of the ship, and mount a gun, like that's obviously a place you would be, So I'm just saying, like that's
that is this movie. And the thing about it too is it's also a James Bond movie. And it's also like probably 95% played straight. There's like that small, like every 20 minutes or so, there's that one little bit where somebody like, you're like, they're winking at the camera at that point.
Yeah, and not well. I mean,
early on it's rough as far as like James Bond. Am I right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he always introduces himself as Duncan Jax. I mean, clearly that's there.
Right.
I mean, the entire intro sequence is, a low budget 80s James Bond. I mean, it's weird because it's like it's wanting to do the James Bond intro except without like the naked ladies with titles painted on their bodies. I mean, it's not really doing that, but it's just doing like the what's the right word? Just
it's kind of like it's the Saul Bass animation type stuff that's happening on screen.
Right. And you have like a faux Tom Jones singing the opening credits or whatever, which is kind of a Stargrove song.
That guy's a legitimate musician. Odie something or another, I forgot, but
the dog.
No.
Yeah.
The intro scene is him. We learn it's Duncan Jax. Like, we know it, but at this point, because this would be his introduction, you don't know that. But it's a guy dressed in a ninja costume, black costume, but the hood that he has on is coated in chainmail.
Partially.
Yeah.
It's like if think about a leather football helmet. You know how it has the straps kind of crisscrossing it? It's like that, but a black ninja hood, and the straps are chainmail.
Yes. And then he's just got almost like a like a gaiter of
Yes, a gator
of
chainmail.
chainmail hanging
It's
down.
a new
I mean,
quantity
honestly,
of
it sort of
chainmail.
looks like a Balenciaga balaclava.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something
That's
like
hard
that.
to say. But yeah.
Balenciaga
But
balaclava.
that whole sequence is him breaking into some kind of apartment or some kind of penthouse thing, and stealing a cassette, a little micro cassette, and then basically getting out via ninja methods when they storm in and guys with guns try and take him out.
Right.
He ninja stars one of them. He jumps up to the top of he goes up the spiral staircase and then immediately jumps down and pounces on the one guy. And the way he gets away finally is he jumps into the pool that is like 20 stories down.
It's but it's like a cool it's like a C-shaped pool or a U-shaped pool. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess they're the same shape sort of.
or lowercase n shaped
yeah. Right.
Yeah,
But
but he jumps to this pool, but you see him jump off the balcony, and then they just cut to a dummy flopping through the air.
Not
Not flopping, just
That's
the
thing.
stiffest dummy you've ever
seen.
It is just a mannequin, like a stiff as a board mannequin.
Yeah.
Like if they'd used, that's the thing is that's why you usually want to use like a CPR dummy or something that's got some flop to it.
Yeah.
This is just a mannequin.
Yep, as stiff as a board,
Yep.
goes in that pool, and then the guys are immediately downstairs. They're very quick about this, and then they're just like, "Is he coming up? What's happening?" And then a little red ball comes up, and they all just open fire on the ball, which releases gas that knocks them all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then suddenly, he is holding on to a giant balloon that is rising up out of the water and pulling him along.
Like a weather balloon, size balloon.
Yeah. But he just rides this balloon up.
Foreshadowing. The man loves balloons.
Yeah, but it just takes him up into the stratosphere. And
Yes. And our hero Duncan Jacks dies.
Yes,
and then the movie ends.
Yes, the entire
straight.
movie is his final moments, like the oxygen deprived brain thinking up this whole sequence of things. Actually, no. He just this goes directly into the credits, which are awesome.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome credits.
Yeah.
Especially for this budget.
Yeah. The other thing I didn't mention is like they're doing the low budget Saul Bass sort of James Bond intro with the song, but then throw on 80s computer graphics on top of it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like targets that drawn, but then they fill in with like a grid.
Yeah,
and-
I mean, just like Tron lines and grids and stuff. I mean, it's
really good.
It's weird and bizarre and great.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, he immediately after that song ends, he's landing on another roof, letting go of the balloon.
Yeah, it was just traveling music basically as he ballooned from one place to the other, and I guess this is where the secret casino is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he pulls a Goldfinger where he takes off the ninja outfit and he's got the tux underneath.
Yeah, but it's got a secret entrance, and he has like a Dick Tracy watch on his wrist, and he calls the chief or whatever, and I'm going to go deliver this, and I need a vacation. It's like, yeah, sure, for like a day and a half, and then you're back on another job, and it's just this. It's the standard like,
Star is his M. That's the name of the guy, is Star. That's one of those guys who I looked it up, and he just hasn't been in anything I remember. But boy, he looks familiar as shit.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, and I could not tell you where, but yeah. Then he goes down to a table. He goes down to a roulette table, and of course bets on 00 and 7.
Mm-hmm.
And also, we see him as he throws the chips down. He throws the
micro cassette.
Yeah, the micro cassette with him. And there's a woman at the table named China who they have a little back and forth thing before they end up in his room, of course.
Right.
Because this is a James Bond thing.
Yeah. And we will continue throughout the entire rest of the movie to ape James Bond things and also have an ape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it a monkey? I was confused about this. I know everyone says it's a monkey, but I honestly don't know.
Everyone calls him everything but a baboon.
I mean, aren't baboons their own standalone thing? Because they're like apes, but they have tails, and I thought tails
back
were
to
the delineation.
I was an art major.
Okay.
I cannot answer any of these questions with any certainty.
All right. I mean, it doesn't matter.
However, I
just
have
thought,
Google, which
okay.
What does AI tell us?
Did it make a
What
better,
is the wrong answer that AI is about to tell us?
did
Thanks,
it make
Google.
a better baboon for
This
us?
is why we're quitting, because AI is fucking taking over.
Baboons are old world monkeys.
Old world.
What is an
monkeys?
old world monkey?
I don't fucking know. Come on.
Damn it,
what do I
AI.
look like, a monkologist?
Ask ChatGPT what is an old world
No,
monkey.
I refuse.
Okay, good. Thank you.
I will.
Maybe that's like an old school G. It's like an old
Right.
world monkey. I don't know. Like, I don't know. It's
I think old world monkeys are like African, Indo-European places, and New World monkeys are like South America and stuff. That's my guess.
Jonathan McFarlane has told us in the chat that
He
old
lies
world
all the
monkeys are
time.
monkeys without a prehensile tail.
He lies all the time. Don't
well, there
listen.
you go.
And Ian has told us that old world monkeys are the ones who know how to make the good pasta sauce. Oh, I'm going to miss this.
Primate,
Primate prego.
primate primavera.
Oh, my God. So, yeah, anyway, he's boning China, and she's like, hey, what's that? And it's like, Shakma is over on the couch. And she's like, wait, you have... And he's like, oh, that's Boone.
Oh, is that an old world monkey over there?
Or are you happy to see me?
Is that a monkey without a prehensile tail over there? I just happen to know a lot about monkey facts.
Yeah. But she is very interested in the fact that he knows a lot about, as she puts it, Oriental culture. You can see my air quotes there. And he's like, no, I don't know anything about that. She's like, oh, you don't know anything about ninjas? And he's like, a ninja? What's a ninja? And she's like, it's the 80s. You know what a ninja is.
I mean,
you've seen a movie.
You're in a movie.
1986. You were on the cusp of like...
No.
No, I'm saying you were like, your parents maybe hadn't heard about ninjas in 1986. There was
Okay,
a time that was just like, not everyone knew about ninjas.
All right, listen.
Duncan Jacks knew about fucking.
I mean,
My
ninjas.
parents knew about ninjas because I wouldn't fucking shut up about
Sure,
ninjas,
sure.
all right?
Yeah.
But
But
yes.
he plays dumb and
But then they're having brunch, and he gets a call on his Apple Watch, and he's like, oh, I got to go downstairs and use the payphone. And so he goes downstairs, and for some reason, there's just this group of rednecks harassing Boone.
Yep.
Boone's like standing on the top of the truck. They're like, hey, check out that monkey.
honestly, I thought that
Check
was
out
their
that
truck.
old- Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
saying like until the movie went along, it seemed like it made more sense that was their truck, and
No.
I was like, oh, that's Duncan Jackson's.
Oh,
truck.
yeah. James Bond drives a jacked up truck.
Yeah.
And not in like a busted ass truck. I mean, like
It's nice.
No,
on,
I mean,
on jacks.
It looks like
big,
the
big
truck
old
that
truck.
it looks like the truck that Marty McFly wanted. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
yeah, it's got like the
Yeah, like
running
the black
lights.
version
yeah.
of that truck.
Yeah,
yes.
it's got like running lights on the top and all that. So.
Yep. Yeah. But so he has to change into his ninja costume, which we get a Superman reference, of course, because he's in the phone booth.
Right.
But yeah, changes into that to beat up these guys and take Boone home.
And she catches him because
Yeah.
she has seen the monkey before, and she looks out and she's like, oh, that's the old world monkey, Typhoon, aka Boone, the baboon. Shakma. And puts two and baboon together. So she's made him now for sure.
Yeah. And then she's gone.
For the almost the entire rest of the movie.
Yep. And
I
then
wonder when else she will show up.
I wonder as well.
I mean, there are several storylines like that resolve themselves and are never mentioned ever again because I believe this is when he's like, all right, it's time to go back to my sweet lair.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah. I mean, he basically lives in like the set from 2001.
Yeah.
It's wild. I wish there was more information on this movie so we knew where it was.
Like, I want to know the budget on this movie.
So do I.
Yeah.
Because, like, the set budget, the sets aren't, like...
They're not cardboard. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're at least
They're cheap, but they're expensive.
Nickelodeon game show quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're not like the best sets, but there are a lot of sets.
Yeah.
Like there are a lot.
I mean, the thing is like usually with low budget movies, you're shooting mise en scene, just like wherever we can find a place is like where we are shooting with whatever lights we find. That is where we're shooting. This is like they had studios, like full on like giant sound stages.
But they did.
Yeah.
I mean, this was in North Carolina, so it's not like it was.
Yeah, but it's still like the set for his lair, so to speak. Like the hallways look like the hallway to Mother in Alien. Like I mean, they like went hard
they're
on
awesome.
these sets. And then this big ass room with the computers and everything where we meet. I believe it's Sato.
Yeah,
who is his cue.
His grand lair is like it's like the quartermaster's stuff is over on one side, like all of the computer equipment is in like another corner, and then he's got like this grand, Asian ballroom or dining room, basically, with like seating for 14 table on like floor seating style, and I mean it's like sunken living rooms and stuff. I mean it is, it's the kind of thing you dream of as like as someone that grew up watching like 60s and 70s retro future stuff.
Yeah, like honestly, like this whole movie is like an 11-year-old's hell yeah movie.
Mm-hmm. Well, at least ours. I mean, I mean, saying stylistically, like this is a lot of like I said, that retro future vibe of, take Frank Lloyd Wright and then send him in a time machine 50 years in the future to where we think we're gonna have hover cars and shit, and this is what it looks like.
Yep. But yeah, that's where we're kind of given the plot that I guess Scarlet Leader, who's basically Cobra Commander.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The Scarlet Leader has this island, and there's gold on it, and they're going to use it to start watching something, to start World War III, and doing nefarious stuff.
Right.
And we learn that Scarlet Leader is evil because 2 old people have shipwrecked on their island.
We learn Scarlet Leader is evil because A, Scarlet Leader, and B, the fucking throne room to the lair. But we learn how evil.
Yeah,
because of the old.
Speaking of
people.
sets, let's talk about.
Well, I'm just going to say, pro tip: anyone who puts leader into their title, don't trust them. I mean, all-seeing, magnificent leader, glorious leader. Any of those people do not. Yeah, they're bad.
What if it's like red leader though? Gold leader.
I mean,
especially.
that's not. They don't. That's a call sign, and that's different. Like,
okay.
They're not walking around like outside of their X-wing going, "Hey, I'm red leader," and it's like, no, you're not. Like, you're Paul.
Red leader's name was Paul?
Perhaps, or Wedge. I don't know.
Wedge Antilles.
Later. It depends on which red leader you're talking about.
So, let's talk about Scarlet Leader's lair.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Holy fuck, man. Awesome.
Legends of the Hidden Temple.
But
all
evil.
Over this shit. But evil, yeah.
Because, I mean, first, Scarlet Leader is Cobra Commander, kind of like wearing. He's wearing like a mask. Mm-hmm. He's got a Darth Vader voice box.
Yeah,
and everything that gets announced through this, but he's got like red and black robes. Just
it's weird because it's like he's got a voice box, but it's not like your typical like little Vox thing. It's he's got it on like a chain around his neck, and it looks like an old shortwave radio.
Yeah. But everything is announced.
I realize everything I'm saying to a certain age group of people
means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, these are just words.
Yeah.
It looks
sounds.
like an old radio.
Yeah. But anyway, he's sitting on a throne where either like hand rest is a gold skull.
Like you do.
Yeah. He's got a dude who's a giant wrestler dude. Blonde wrestler dude to the left.
I had to look it up. I thought it was the guy from Hudson Hawk.
I did too.
I had to look it up. I was like, oh, that's what's his.
Like he looks almost like Gutenoff, and but it's not him. It's some wrestler, and now I can't remember his name.
Danny Spivey.
Danny Spivey. There we go. Yeah, but he's got him standing to the left or to his right, and then to his left is a woman who looks like. Kind of like if Syndra from Mortal Kombat was blonde.
Okay.
And on American Gladiators.
Yeah, I mean, she just reminded me of like, Cyndi Lauper dressing up to be like Captain Lou Albano's sidekick. Like it's just saying, like it was like like 80s punk rocker girl, but doing wrestling vibe.
Yeah.
But also like Joker makeup on, which gave her like a weird Harley Quinn vibe too.
Yeah. But it's this giant stone room, and what they're sitting in front of is a pool that has 2 ramps going down either side, where the heads are dragons that are pouring out water, so it's a constant water slide. Mm-hmm. And the pit inside has alligators and piranhas.
Yeah, alligators and piranhas.
Yes.
Like, so my man didn't just go for one.
No,
I don't think the alligators were in the water.
The
alligators
on, like, the side,
are.
in
they
case
have
you were able to get out.
Yeah, they have like a little like ledge that's just for the alligators. That's like swampy, and then like the water down below is full of piranhas.
Yeah, but this is a big ass room, and then there's like columns on the sides, and and like little statues over there. It's awesome, it looks like it should all be lit by torchlight. It's cool as hell. But yes, there's old people who have crashed on the island, and And Scarlet Leader's just like, ha ha. They're like, please let us leave. And Scarlet Leader's like, how about no? Ha ha ha.
There's not even a consideration.
The
It's just,
woman is in a wheelchair, and they dump the wheelchair into the water slide, which sends her into the piranha pit. And the old man's like, what's in there? And he's like, you're about to find out. And the wrestler dude picks this old man up over his head and chucks him into the water. And then Scarlet Leader's just like, the piranhas are hungry today. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
And yes, this is a fucking cartoon.
yeah.
Live action. It's glorious.
I just love that they're just like, all right, we're gonna get this out of the way. Scarlet Leader is a bad guy
You
for
think?
sure. No questions about that. Like, there's no room for. It's like using Nazis. Like, well, until like 6 or so years ago, like there was no mistaking that like Nazis were always the bad guy. There's no
Yeah.
redeeming quality to a Nazi.
And what's
Yep.
changed?
The world.
I think
Okay,
the answer is
some people's
nothing.
Nothing. I mean, okay, you're right. Nothing's changed. Some people's perception has gotten real fucked up, but yeah, they just lay it out that like there's no question that Scarlet Leader and all of their henchmen
Bad.
are shit asses.
Yes. Bad people.
So you can't feel bad at all about them getting the shit kicked out of them
Correct.
Yep.
because it's gonna happen.
Yeah. I do like that later on, there's a scene where someone else gets executed in that room, and all the ninjas in their red garb are standing outside, like around watching, and one of them just goes, man, he's really strict. And that's like one of that 5% of the movie that's just like, yeah, we know this is stupid. We
Right.
don't care.
Yeah, well, that's the girl we were just describing, the Cyndi Lauper. She turns out to be a spy for
Yeah.
Duncan Jacks, so she gets slow dipped into the piranha pit.
Yeah. And they have to watch her get it. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and I mean,
just
then
love that one
they
guy going-
just do the bring up the empty harness thing.
Yeah,
that's when that's when they're like, oh, geez.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic movie move.
Yeah.
I love though it was not shredded.
They
They probably didn't have a
secondary harness.
yeah, a
shredding.
harness shredding budget. So
Right.
they're just like, this budget's better served blowing things up.
Or those piranhas are just extremely precise.
They could have just let the baboon have it for a few seconds, like let it get its face ripping tendencies out on the harness.
Yeah. But so we've established they're evil because they have killed an old couple for literally no reason.
Right.
Yeah. But Duncan is he has to. This is a lot like Order of the Black Eagle, because in Order of the Black Eagle, it's like he has to gather up his crew to be able to do this. But in this one, he does have to gather up his crew, but he basically has to not even like recruit them, like force them to be part of this.
Well, he's got two bugs and whale. He's being
Yeah.
told from what is his name? What was the guy's name? Star? Is that his
Star,
M? Yeah,
yes,
Star.
is his key or his M.
Right. Yeah, and it's just like these two people are the key. Like you have to find bugs to find the other guy to find whale,
Yeah.
and whale will lead you to the gold. And that's,
Star also, I think, has to convince him like you have to do this. You don't have a choice.
Yeah, because he doesn't want to work with either of them.
Yeah.
Right.
Because he does not trust either of them.
Right. So, but yeah, he's got a whole team of mostly young, nubile people that work with him, but and one old guy. The one old guy. All right, let's just get his storyline out of the way because that's one of those things that goes fucking nowhere. Like,
Well, it's the timing of
Right.
everything.
Yeah.
Because, like we said, Duncan has a spy on the inside, which is the woman who gets eaten, and then immediately after that, like basically Scarlet Leader's like, Duncan has lost his inside man, but we still have ours. Ha ha ha.
right.
And then Duncan is just right after that, like he's laying out the plan of how they're going to invade. And then, like that next scene is Sato, the Q of this movie, just going, so what was that transmission you sent, old man?
Yeah.
And pulling a gun on him, and that guy's just out of the rest of the movie.
Yeah, there's one old guy named Wilson who's just like the aging spy, walks around with a cane, and he's kind of like the guy who's like, oh, I'm too old to still go on the missions, but I'm sad, and that's really like his entire role in the movie. Is just like he's in a couple scenes of like the I don't even know that they ever said her name, but the lady sidekick that goes along with him the rest of the movie that does that just literally goes along with him, doesn't do anything.
Yep.
She's just in the helicopter and stuff where he goes.
Gunner is her name.
Yeah, they just literally. She was like, "Oh, have you told him he's not going on the mission? You know, blah blah blah."
Yeah.
And then later he's
Yeah,
a spy because he's old.
This guy is who they act like James Bond is from Skyfall on. They're like, "Oh, you're just too old for this shit, old man."
Yeah.
You know, but he actually is too old for this shit. Unlike Daniel Craig, whatever. Not going to get into it.
Right.
But yeah, so he's out.
Yeah.
But that's like one of those things where it's like they set up this plot line and then they just immediately bam bam cut those two plot lines off.
Right.
Like
And this is-
scene like
Yeah.
immediately.
This is way later. This is like after they
Yeah.
recruited the two people we just mentioned, Bugs and Whale. But I'm just wanting to wrap up his storyline.
Yeah.
He's an old
So
guy.
we don't have to talk about him
he's there, and then all of a sudden it's confronted. He's the spy, and then we never see or hear or anything. The only thing that it mentioned is like they knew they were going to invade in 4 days, and he changes the plan to 3, and waits for him to transmit back to Scarlet Leader the new change, and that's how they out them.
Yeah. And then they move it up to like that day.
Or whatever. Yeah. So.
But anyway, so Bugs.
Yeah.
In order to recruit Bugs, they basically just have to go to a crack house. It sure seems like.
Yeah.
Where they and keep in mind, all of these scenes, Boone the baboon, Shakma, is along.
Pretty much the entire movie. Yeah.
Yeah, like to the point where when they pull up, there's a hobo like stumbling around drunk and goes, "That's an ugly kid," as he walks by the car because Shakma's sitting in the passenger seat. But Shakma also gasses out the dudes who are waiting in the car outside to guard the place.
He takes a little gas bomb and drops it underneath the car.
Yeah, I love I love that they put it in an 80-yard line. There's just a lady that's like, "Is that a baboon in a tuxedo coming up to the car?"
Oh, she says a ninja outfit.
Ninja outfit. Yeah. And then it's like, "What are you talking about? It doesn't make any sense." And then it's just like, sets off
they
the
get
thing.
gassed out.
Yeah, I just love that they threw that in.
Yep.
But yeah, so they have to step over several passed out heroin people, and then I asked, I was like, is this guy called Bugs because that's all he lives with in this fucking place? But he lives in a room that's full of.
Well, before they get to him, they get in. He's like, it's through that room in the back.
Right.
The one guy that he threatens tells him, and then they go in and they get garbage smashed. Because they get in there and suddenly the door locks behind him,
Right.
and the room is, and he has to use his Apple Watch to burn out a hole in the wall to escape. But it also smashed the light. We were very disappointed that they had the light they used in that room.
Yeah, it's just one of those standard like metal hanging lights.
Yeah.
It's literally just a like a piece of tin around a light socket.
We were like, no, if you're going to do this, you got to put like lights in the floor or something. Tube lighting. You got to do something.
Maybe that's just part of the fun. They're like, they'll see the light get crushed, and that they'll be like that as they're watching the light.
They'll be
go through
nearly
their
dead by
eyes.
then.
The light goes out as their light goes out.
Yeah, that's
But he burns his way through the door and then basically uses the pressure of the compressor to pop the wall out.
yeah. And they basically fall into Bugs' lair, which is just this room full of military
memorabilia.
but it's like full. It's like full of mannequins that are wearing a lot of different outfits and flak
Guns
jackets
and
and shit.
knives.
But
It's weird when you first go in because it's like, what the hell happened here? Because it just, the way it looks like a bunch of army dudes hung themselves in the room.
Yeah, I mean, it's suddenly like you've got into the toy makers thing in Blade Runner, where it's just like, what is this weird, like, why are there people, not people everywhere? Yeah. But yeah, it's just a bunch and then they go to the desk, and it's like one last mannequin, and then they flip around, and I don't know, does it laugh at him or something?
Yeah, it laughs at them, and Bugs pops out from behind them and tries to machine gun them.
Yeah, he's got
and then Duncan's like, "Hey, don't shoot us.
and they're like,
I've got an offer for you."
yeah, Bugs is like, you should have made an appointment, Duncan. Ha ha ha! It's real funny. I just shot at you, and anyway, they're kind of sort of friends now, and I mean, it takes a little bit of prodding, but he gets him to go along with the for the promise of whatever.
He basically
treasure.
pays him enough.
Yeah. And it's like, well, we got to go get Whale, and I guess he's in a jail somewhere.
Whale jail.
Whale jail. Yeah. That's where like just a little bit of the jail's popping out of the top.
Right.
Yeah. But they have to break in. They knock out some dudes outside and get to his cell or whatever. And
Yeah, Duncan goes to a cell while
that's
while
what it is,
Boone
yeah.
just does tricks on top of a wall, and all the soldiers are just like watching and clapping.
Pretty much. They look like low poly NPCs. They're just standing there like
they really do.
they just clap a couple times and then clap another couple
and they
times.
start tossing a ball back and forth.
Yeah, they did that.
Yeah, it's really it's just like, you guys are really bored here, aren't you?
They plucked them out of the crowd of a NFL 2K6.
Yep. Yeah. But Duncan gets to the whale, and the whale has the map to where the island is, or at least once they're on the island, how to go to get in the lair.
Right.
And he's like, nah, that's really dangerous. I don't think I'm going to do that. And Duncan slaps a bomb on his wrist, and he's like, how you're going to do it now, right? He's like, yeah, let's go, man.
Right.
Might as well do this.
And to give you an idea, he's kind of like Orson Welles.
Yeah. He is very... Yeah, he's like a super goofy Orson Welles.
Yeah.
But yeah, they call him Whale, and yeah, he's a rotund fellow.
He is a large fella, yeah.
Yep. But yeah, then the way that he's like, all right, Shakma, it's time to do some, it's time for the distraction. And so as they're tossing the ball up to him, Shakma's like, okay. And what does Shakma toss back?
Well, I like that it's Duncan who he's just been sitting there throwing the ball, and Duncan gives him the code word. He's like, all right, Santa, it's time to bring the presents. And that's when he catches the ball, puts it down, and reaches into his sack and pulls out the little explosive little hand grenades or whatever he's got.
Yeah, there's just sticks of dynamite.
Yeah.
And he's just tossing dynamite around, blowing shit up, and the guy's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, they escape by him just demolishing this place.
Yeah. And then they get into a helicopter with rope ladders. And then they just hang on the rope ladders, and I was like, aren't you kind of forgetting your friend? But they swing by, and he jumps up onto the rope ladder too. But they fly off, like, still hanging on the bottom on the rope ladders.
And here's the thing, like, there's a shot of him hanging from the rope ladder with Shakma, like, on one arm, and he's hanging on the other. And it's just a cool shot on the side of the frame, and he just comes through, and I'm thinking all the time, like these people knew what they were doing. Like, as far as lighting, as far as, like, rigs. Like technically, these people were fucking on point making this movie.
Yeah.
And that's what's crazy about it, is it's just like you're making this goofy-ass thing, and you people really didn't make anything else, but you made, like, these two fucking awesome movies together.
That's what's so bizarre about these, is that it's like, usually when you find something like this, it's like, good effort. You know, like, at least you tried. I mean... Yes, you can still say that when you compare it to, like, your typical Hollywood movie, but still, like, when you compare it to other things of this era and budget, or assumed budget, because we don't know nothing about the movie, even though there is like an hour plus documentary on this Blu-ray, but which we haven't watched yet.
BJ and I were like fighting over who gets to take the Blu-ray home with them.
But yeah, I mean, like, these sets and the the stunts, even though it's kind of funny from time to time, there will be, like. I will say, Ian Hunter appears to do a lot of the stunting type things himself. Like, there was one thing where I'm pretty sure he jumped onto a moving vehicle himself. There was not a way to fake that with anybody else. But there are a couple of fight scenes where his stunt double looks fucking absolutely nothing like him.
Well,
I mean, it's
that's why he's usually got the ninja costume.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of funny. It's
like,
almost,
hair color's wrong.
Yeah, it's almost like the Spaceballs thing, like, where it's like, you got the stunt doubles, and it's like they don't look anything like.
But so he's got his team together now, and this is when and then they get into the whole traitors, the double agent stuff. Right. Clear that up, and he's like, all right, we're going in the morning, and gives this whole speech in front of this white room where it's like one squad's coming in on the north, one's on the south, one's on the east, cargo's coming from the west. We're doing this.
Yeah. And
then the rest of the movie is them just fucking invading this island.
Yeah, pretty much.
And it rocks.
Okay, so hold on. The couple of things that I think were supposed to be intentionally funny that are funny. One of them is in the scene where they're kind of in the classroom or the briefing room, the THX room that they're in.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's giving the presentation, and he's basically like, any questions? And Boone keeps putting his paw up, and he's just like, not now, Boone, later. And then somebody else, Bugs or
Star
comes up and starts, and then, but it's funny because, like, Boone's still kind of got his paw up in the air, and the other guy walks up and he's like, well, what about this? And he makes this like, like noise.
Yeah.
It's just like, but I think it was
gets ignored like three or four times.
Actually, it actually sounded like the baboon making a noise that just sounded like a harumph.
Typhoon is a very, very talented actor.
Yes, that's true. But yeah, that's one of the few times where the comedy is actually funny, and just like the this guy's strict thing.
Yeah, it's a very simple joke.
Yeah,
but it
most of
works.
the Superman thing doesn't work at all because they can't afford anything remotely resembling the actual Superman music, so that kind of falls flat unless you just you're big into knowing that Superman used to change in an old school phone booth.
Yep.
I mean, other than that, it's it's kind of lost as far as a reference.
Well, this is 1987, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, without anything remotely resembling the Superman theme, and
I don't think it's that hard to guess.
okay, I'm saying I don't even know that that's a known fact about Superman past the 80s. I mean, I feel like that's a thing that because as phone booths disappeared, it's like Superman's just super fast. He doesn't really need a box to change, and he could just do it anywhere.
Yeah, there's still a lot of people alive from before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah. That and there's another thing when they actually unmask the idol that is pretty funny.
Yeah, but from here it is they are all dressed as black ninjas and all the bad guys are red ninjas, and it's ninja everything. Just ninja assault.
Yeah, I mean they first they send in a fake parachuting. They send in dummies that come down and explode on contact because they send in the three-wheeling red ninja squad. They have Honda three-wheelers on the beach, and they go
they're fantastic.
They see them they're parachuting in and go chasing after them and get to where they're landing, and they all just start hitting the ground and exploding.
Yeah.
So then the real team is then parachuting in, and bear in mind the other thing that's kind of beautiful and funny about this movie is that the fact that it is just shoestring budget sort of thing. They just went and got. I mean, yes, they got a bunch of parachutes and hot air balloons and things that most people are I don't have access to these things. How do I get access to them? But they still just go find commercial ones because they're all rainbow colored and things like that.
They're not like military.
Yeah, I mean they're not camouflage or black or
like the local skydiving club.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's still funny when it's all these covert agents jump out and it's oh look, there's the guy with the African flag and there's the guy with the rainbow
right.
And it's it's funny.
It's great.
Yeah.
Look, we got Eritrea and Greece, and France.
Yeah, I was oh, there's the German parachuter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if these things are actually modeled after anything. I just see the color schemes and I'm that looks like the German flag. But anywho, they all land and immediately. I think one of the funniest things is there's one group of ninjas that just land and immediately almost speed ramp to start burying one ninja in the sand.
Yep.
They land and then they're just hut, 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 and six dudes bury this one guy in the sand. They're all right, what's up with that? And then we find out as we go from scene to scene, red ninjas are where are they? And dudes just keep exploding out of the ground.
Yep.
Right.
And
and that ninja in particular explodes out and grabs a dude off of an ATV as he's driving by.
Well, he grabs the back of the ATV and gets self-drag for a few minutes.
It's a good stunt.
Yeah, then pulls him off the back of it. Yeah,
because he sits up and the ATV or the three-wheeler rides really close to him.
Yeah.
And then he just grabs on and literally just one hands the luggage rack on the back of the three-wheeler and then pulls himself up. It's one take. He pulls himself up and snatches the dude off.
Yeah, pulls himself up and then yeets the other guy off of the damn ATV. Yeah. There's also a shot of the two of the bad guy ninjas are looking around, and the good guy ninjas jump up from behind them off of a hill or something, and the one dude kicks that dude right in the back, right in the shoulder blade, and just wrecks him.
Oh, the dude's wearing glasses. That's what makes it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's sunglasses or regular glasses, but they come flying off.
And it's one of those things that there's no way to fake it either, but it's in slow mo too. And he just kicks that guy right in the shoulder blade and just jacks him.
I mean, there's little things you can do, you get glasses that don't fit your face and you fall off easily, and things like that. I mean, it's
still you're getting kicked in the back, and you don't know when it's coming.
I'm just saying there are ways that people take stunt falls.
Not
and
a fan.
It looks really good, is what we're trying to.
Sure, it does. Yes,
we get hurt sleeping on the couch.
This
wrong.
is true. I understand.
That looked like it hurt. Yeah, but yes, and there's just a lot of dudes hop on a Jeep and then just fling themselves off the back. Not even not even coordinated. They're just off the top rope.
Yeah,
arms out, gonna jack.
There's
these
something
two
soft
dudes.
where I'm landing. Let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all, watch this.
Yeah, and it's just cutting back and forth. And this is all daytime, by the way.
Yeah.
Just middle of the afternoon, shit going down. And meanwhile, Scarlet Leader has gone to the radio room and is just like, what the hell is happening here?
Just hovering over the poor radio dude.
Yeah,
like,
and the radio dude's like, oh, we're taking huge casualties out there. And that's the part where he does do the attention. What is it from the intro? God, now I can't remember exactly.
Attention
how
all
he said-
guards, be on the lookout for trespassing ninjas.
Yeah.
Trespassing
It's
ninjas.
also just the way he, I don't know, he just sort of like deadpan reads the line. It's kind of great. You know, it's just that like generic, almost like, you know, air traffic controller, like, attention, be on the lookout. Just something about the ridiculousness of that line said in such a monotone, professional way is hilarious.
It's great. Yeah.
My radio man is a professional because he takes a haranguing from Scarlet Leader the entire time, like barking in his ear. And I don't know how you deal with, like, I can't deal with middle managers like that or micromanagers like that.
Yeah.
I would just like single fist up to his face.
I have made people leave who are trying to design over my shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry, you have to go.
I don't
Number one,
care if you're a vice president.
Number one,
You're in sales, not design.
you're
you
too
may
cl-
leave now.
you're too close to me.
Yeah.
Get the fuck away.
Yep.
I remember I used to have to tell people that, like, this is my cubicle, this is my personal space. You need to go, or I will not talk to you.
Your invasion of my personal space is invading my ability to be creative.
Also,
Your crotch is on my shoulder. Fuck off.
keep in mind that radio guy probably saw that chick get fed to piranhas.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Plus the benefits.
micromanagement, and then there's managers that will turn you into micro pieces.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, the benefits are really good working for Scarlet Leader.
Are they?
Yeah, lots of vacation time.
Oh, okay.
401k match is terrible, though.
It's not good. It's not good. But
You'd think
the,
with all that gold that
well, the
but
healthcare is really good. If you get sick, they feed you to the piranhas.
yeah, you don't have to worry about it anymore. Yeah. Also, we skipped over the other dude, Goldtooth.
Oh,
who
yeah,
is
good old Gold
the
Tooth.
guy who I guess was bankrolling it somehow. He's somehow taking the gold on a sub, but this guy is just a douchebag. I mean, there's no other
the
way to
hugest.
describe him. He's not only to Scarlet Leader, but to everybody. He's just a complete piece of shit. And Scarlet Leader's like, you're a piece of shit. I hate working with you. And he's just like, likewise.
I'm sorry.
Where's the gold?
I hate to draw a line in the sand on their very last episode, but I'm going to go on record that, I mean, I think it's bad enough that anybody puts a tiny amount of gold in their mouth, like on one tooth, but much less all of their teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, I'm just saying, like, there's a level. Like, you know,
How do you chew?
Well, I just.
Gold is soft.
I mean, I just, you know, like, if there's one thing, like, I don't know, it's like having a gold toenail. It's just like, like, what is cool and flashy about your fucking teeth? Like, they're utilitarian. I don't understand it, and I will never understand it. And I'm saying, like,
you have enough money to put gold in your mouth.
and do something better with your life is all I'm saying. So I'm saying if you have gold in one tooth, you're bad, and if you're this guy that has a whole mouthful, you know,
Get
like
outta here.
like
Gotcha, I
28
see.
times fuck
Yeah.
you, or however many it is, 32.
Yep.
I don't remember what teeth there are. How many teeth are in your mouth? 24, 28?
I was an art major. I
Okay,
could
fuck, I don't
not
know.
tell you with any certainty
I was
how many
32.
teeth are
I
in
thought
a
it.
mouth.
Yeah, I was like
I'm going,
28, 32.
I'm going
something
32,
like that.
including with wisdom teeth.
75.
Sure. Yeah, if you're a shark.
I wish we had teeth like a shark. That'd
Yeah,
be cool as shit.
I wish my hat was like a shark fin.
One shark, we're Finn.
There we go. Yeah. But anyway, that guy's waiting on a sub, and he is also haranguing the hell out of his radio guy. He's like, "What is happening up there? Tell them to move quicker." And the guy's like, "Man, they're moving as quick as they can." He's like, "I don't care. Make them move faster."
It's basically just like, hey, the radio's not working. No, it's working. Just nobody's answering. And it's like,
Yeah.
to make the radio work. It's like, I can't make someone else answer. Like,
Right.
we've all had bosses like that. Like,
Yeah.
why aren't they responding? Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, it's
How
all-
many emails would you like me
Yeah.
to send? You give me a number.
Yeah.
I'll
why
do
are you
that.
angry at me on their inability to respond?
Yeah.
Anyway,
You
yeah.
give me a number in writing. I'll email that person that
Yeah,
many
yeah.
times.
But yes, yeah, Goldtooth gets. I mean, it was all a scam. The big giant bars of gold that were in there were fake and loaded with explosives anyway. So even though he like eventually gets the gold,
Yeah. Our heroes have tricked him.
yeah,
Right.
They've been duplicitous with their gold, because that was one of the plans, was to plant the gold there. But Duncan Jack says there's another plan, and I'll figure it out when we get there. He's very secretive
Right.
about it, because I guess he doesn't trust anybody. But yeah, there's just There's carnage everywhere. There's like Star and Bugs kind of bond for a bit as far as like
They get at each other's throat, but
Yeah.
then they have a begrudging acceptance of each other.
yeah. Yeah, because Star thinks Bugs is just a common criminal, and Bugs thinks Star is just a pencil pusher behind a desk, and then they come to an understanding by the end of it. But the main thing is they plant explosives instead of gold, and all that gold gets taken. So from here, they're just like, all right, where's Duncan, man? So he has taken what's her name? Bullet? God, no, I can't remember that.
Maddox?
No, Gunner.
Gunner,
Sorry,
yeah.
Gunner. Yeah, he, Gunner, and Whale have made it to the throne room. Nobody's there because everybody else is out doing, fighting the ninja shit.
stuff.
Yeah, fighting trespassing ninjas. So he's like, all right, we've got to look around. We got to find the thing in here. And they're like, you got to tell us what we're looking for, bro, because we've been looking here for like 10 minutes and we haven't found shit.
Yeah, they're all honestly. For a second there, I thought they were like going to do some kind of weird Shazam thing because I mean, he's got all these like, okay, so he's got this giant moat thing, the piranha moat that's around his throne room, but then along the side, he's got all these alcoves with different statues, and he started with this like, something about the greed and blah blah blah, and I was like, oh, you're gonna have to find like one of the fucking hidden deadly sin statues or some shit, but no, eventually he's just like, no, there's an idol.
Yeah, I'm looking for a gold idol. It's supposed to be here. And none of them find it because goddamn Shakma finds it.
Right.
Just sits on the throne and starts fiddling with the switches.
Our hero and yours,
Yeah.
Typhoon, a.k.a. Shakma, a.k.a. Boone.
Yeah. And Boone raises, and suddenly from out of the depths of the water, you see a giant Buddha come up.
With his hands up.
I'd like to see some New World monkey try that.
Yeah. Fucking New World
Yeah.
monkeys, piece of shit.
But yeah, they get, and then they're like, "That's it," and they get the gold idol out, and then they call Bugs and Star, and like, "All right, we got the location, come get it," and they're there in like a second. Like they've been camping out somewhere, but they're like right there. Like somehow Scarlet Leader hasn't been able to make it there, despite just going down to the radio room. So we don't understand the geography of this island at all. But anyway, they're about to load up the idol, and Duncan Jacks like grabs the head and pops it open, and just jewels start pouring out.
Oh,
Just
yeah. Well,
tons of
Like
glass beads.
comical.
this is one of the other like funny bits. So I mean, the statue is a big giant gold Buddha, and it's is that the traveling Buddha? No, the traveling Buddha.
Brother, I
actually's
do
got-
not know.
There's a name for that pose, and I don't.
About to do a handstand.
Yeah,
with it.
I don't remember what it is, and I'm sorry. I apologize. No, there's traveling Buddha, sitting Buddha. But anyway, but like they wheel this thing out, and it is not a little Buddha. It is a giant big gold Buddha, and they get it out of that, and they're all kind of like, oh wow, I've never seen anything like that. And that's when Whale is like, what? No, you've never seen anything like that. Look at this, and he basically does the pose, and it's like, haha, he does actually kind of look like him.
He does kind of.
Yeah. But yeah, I just say that's one of the other moments that's actually like kind of funny. That's supposed to be
Yeah.
funny, unlike some of the other references like the 007 stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But anyway, they take everything out, and then it's just Duncan Jacks still there for some reason, and that's when Scarlet Leader comes out.
yeah, they're all like they wheeled him out, and like he's the last one to leave for whatever reason, and the gate, the portcullis thing comes down, and
Yeah, and then
Closes it
ninjas come out, so he has to fight a bunch of them for a bit. And he does the thing that always bugs me, where it's like he'll grab like the bow staff and beat the hell out of some people, and then immediately throw it on the ground, and then have to fight more people, and just But eventually, he beats all them up, and then Scarlet Leader comes out and is like, Duncan Jacks.
yeah, like half
Well.
half the Ninja Turtles come out and fight him, like because there's just bow staffs and nunchucks, like
Yeah.
even though they were size in the woods, I guess some people had swords. I mean, it's kind of a given. It's kind of like your de facto weapon. I feel like.
Yeah. But yeah, he ends up having to fight Scarlet Leader, who is the only one who really gets a few hits in on him. But then, like, he's beaten the hell out of Scarlet, like, and just hits Scarlet Leader like 20 times in a row. Like, it just keeps going. You're like, man, like, what the hell? And then Scarlet Leader rips off the hood, and of course, it's China from the beginning.
Sure.
Oh my.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, it's her. And he's like, well, I can't beat up a woman. And then she says something like, I'm no woman. And
Yeah,
and then tosses down
well,
the traditional.
he's like, I never fight with a lady, and she's like, that doesn't apply to me. And then he does the line from Gone with the Wind, which doesn't make any sense. I'm just saying, like, she goes like, that doesn't apply to me, and he's like, frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn. And it's like, okay, and then she throws a smoke bomb or something, I think.
Yeah, she throws a smoke bomb.
Yeah.
He
Ninja
chokes.
escape,
She's gone.
Yeah. And then for some reason the gate opens back up, and it's like, was okay.
But then everybody else outside has spent their time inflating balloons.
Hot air balloons.
As in
The
hot
last
air balloons.
45 minutes, at least.
I mean, there are a dozen of them, and this is how everyone is escaping the island.
I just realized
in hot air balloons.
I just thought about something. There was another weird line in this movie that I don't know if this is supposed to explain it or like maybe this person just had this on their brain. But there is one exit Scarlet Leader does. Oh, it's like it's in the midst of all the chaos when like everything's blowing up and there's ninja shit going on outside. Scarlet Leader like freaks out and is like, I think it's when she is going to the radio room. And as she's leaving, she does the like thing from Wizard of Oz is the witches melting. She like goes to leave and she's like, what a world. What a world. And I'm like, is this like supposed to be giving like, is this like foreshadowing for the hot air balloon escape at the end? I don't. Yeah, because isn't that how the Wizard of Oz ends?
I think this is just that whole like this was written by an 11-year-old, and 11-year-olds don't necessarily have a sense of humor. They just know how to make references.
Okay, all right.
I feel like that's what it's like.
Sure,
almost, because the last line of the movie is also like, "Okay, buddy," another reference that's just weird.
Yeah,
but yeah, he gets out. The hot air balloon he escapes in he gets in the truck again. The Buddha is in the back.
Mm-hmm.
What's her face and Shakma are in the truck.
Gunner, not China.
Yeah,
Gunner.
Gunner and Shakma are in the truck, and they just take off in a hot air balloon in that.
Yeah, like the truck is the basket. I mean, like a 2+ ton pickup truck with a giant gold Buddha loaded with jewels.
Right.
Is lifted by just a
standard size hot air balloon.
Yep.
Like, your standard everyday regular
like
hot air balloon.
At least blimps are more than hot air. I mean, they have gases in them too. Like,
sure.
I'm saying like there's a reason why they could be big and metal and carry lots of people and stuff. But
well, yeah.
I mean, sometimes I mean, no ticket. But I'm saying I'm saying sometimes they explode.
And those were Zeppelins, actually.
Well, okay.
Either way,
I just wanted to get one last, actually, in the podcast.
Either way, they're taking off.
That's so ledantic of you.
And they get buzzed by Scarlet Leader, who's now in. Harlow and I thought it was a Mustang, but what type of plane is it?
I think it's a Texan, like a T-61.
It's a World War II fighter plane looking thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a Zero because she's not Japanese.
Yeah.
But I mean, like I'm saying, like as a 11-year-old, you would be like, oh, whatever, what's the difference? But I'm still like, you would think you'd just be like, give her one of those. But I'm sure they didn't have access to one. Whatever.
Yeah. But anyway, she buzzes them once, and then they're like, oh my God, she's coming back, and she flies by and just gives a salute, and Duncan Jacks gives her a salute back, and
T6.
then she takes off.
Okay. And
China, T6 Texan.
China will return and never.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think she showed up.
I
Order of the Black
do
Eagle,
not believe
but
she was in Order of the Black Eagle.
No.
But yeah, and then she's like, Gunner's just like, Duncan Jacks, why does everything work out so well for you? And he goes,
because I work hard for it, or I earn it, or something like that. And it's like,
it's really dumb.
The old
it's like,
credit card slogan.
Is that what it is?
And now I can't. Now that
I didn't get that reference.
Now that I've had an entire bottle of Prosecco, I can't tell you what the.
Well, this is like that's not quite a bottle.
I know, but still, I gave blood. I'm all woozy today.
I'm feeling woozy, man.
But anyway, he's like, yeah, I do it the old-fashioned way. I earn it.
Yep.
Okay, that's a credit card thing. That was a credit card commercial. Or something,
it
like
wasn't
Visa?
a credit. It was an old commercial,
okay.
and now I can't remember.
All right.
I think it was a credit. Man,
I don't know. Discover, like the first Discover commercial ever, like earn your cashbacks. I don't know.
While you're looking that up, I had a really weird. I set a record for amount of credit card offers received in the mail today.
Nice.
Four at once, all big envelopes too.
It was Smith Barney. They make money the old-fashioned way. They earn it.
I doubt they made money the old-fashioned way back
Oh, okay. I know who they are. I know exactly who they are.
Yeah.
They had the single greatest commercial that aired literally one time ever.
Really?
I know that's them. That has to be them. There was this beautiful commercial that I don't know. I don't think it was a Super Bowl commercial, but it might have been. But it was really good lookalikes for all of the presidents, or mostly presidents, that are on the money, and they were like out at like strip clubs and shit, and it was like they were like lighting cigars off of like dollar bills and stuff, and basically the whole point is like, what is your money doing at night? And it was like like you could earn more if investing with us, and it was fucking brilliant because it was
From
like,
the 80s?
or like early 90s. It was
Wow.
a long time ago,
I like it.
but it was I swear.
But yes,
like,
it's basically he gives the Smith Barney.
okay.
Talk about old man reference here.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, you and I knew it, but either way, that's the final line of the movie.
Okay.
And then it's just
they-
play the theme song again.
They balloon off in their truck basket.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's weird, but it's also one of those, like, I guess like just references for the sake of references are those things, which are obviously the weakest point of the movie.
Sure.
As much as I'd love to have a Stargrove on our final episode,
It seemed like it was
then.
teasing.
It's pretty close.
It's
it's
pretty close.
Trying real hard. I was listening, and it just doesn't quite cut it. Like, it's too generic.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. I agree.
It tries real
so
hard.
not quite. But I guess it's time for some final ratings, huh?
In more ways than one.
Yep.
Really just one way.
I mean, it's our final ratings on the movie and also our final ratings ever.
Finally.
What's our first rating on the movie, really? That's the final pet entry.
I feel like none of us want to go first.
I'll give it 5 jocks. Fuck it. It's really dumb. It's
Yeah.
really dumb in all the ways we like. There's a boring stretch in the middle. There's like 15 minutes of absolutely painstaking, why are we talking so much?
True.
But other than that, everything fucking hits. I know the Bond stuff is stupid, but it's stupid in like...
It's stupid in the same ways that Order of the Black Eagle's
Yes,
stupid.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't mind going out on a 5. I've also had Prosecco, so I'm feeling a little bit generous.
You know, and honestly, I would say if this wasn't the final episode, I would probably give this 4. But it's it's a 5.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid. This is, like Harlow and I have both said, like if we had the access to make a movie, especially in like 1986, it would look a lot like this.
Oh, for sure.
A
If somebody gave
lot
me a
like
budget and a
this.
director, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going 5.
I'm comfortable with that.
Fuck it. It's 5 or 4 doesn't matter. It's worth watching.
Absolutely.
And it's
yeah.
way easier to get a hold of than Order of the Black Eagle. Because it is streaming on Amazon Prime somehow.
For some reason. They should just
Still.
slip Order of the Black Eagle into this package. Just like, here you go.
That would be the perfect 2-pack.
Unmasking the Order of the Black Eagle.
Yeah. Just the Duncan Jacks collection.
Unmasking the Black Eagle.
Yeah.
The Jax packs.
There it is.
I mean, there'd be something wonderful and great about a unanimous final 5 jocks.
There would.
Yeah. Which is why I'm going to do it.
Yes!
That's my man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool. See you guys later.
It's fun. Like we bitch about some dumb things in this movie and we can't remember people's names, but it's fun.
Yeah.
There was, the
There's like 30 named characters.
Oh, I know.
There's so many people in this movie.
Yeah.
the amount of times we just all kind of just went at random stuff, like the dummy falling out of the window.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's how we do it.
Well, and Shakma just tossing fucking
Yes.
dynamite at people. And like some of the explosions, like when there's a truck going down the beach and they're having explosions
Oh my
right next to
God.
they are really close to that truck. Like
Yeah.
scary close to that truck. And we're like, oh.
And this is another one where it's like it's the guy, not the stuntman, like hanging on the back of the truck. And I mean, he's doing the like action thing, like hanging on the roll bars or whatever. Like
Yeah,
off
he's
the
like
side.
standing on the running
Yeah.
board and hanging
Yeah.
off the roll
I mean,
bar.
he's
right?
not like fully in the bed of the truck where it's like those blasts. There's really not like metal protecting him per se.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, and I know that those are like stage blasts.
Right.
They're not that dangerous. But God, that's a lot of noise and sand really close to you.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, big ups for the old world monkey not ripping anyone's faces off while
yeah.
pyrotechnics were going off around him.
Oh, and I just
Shockma's a pro.
I just can't get over
Maybe he's
how
deaf. Maybe that's what they did. They got a deaf monkey in there.
You
Like,
know what?
Yeah.
Deaf monkey, that funky monkey.
I'm still amazed that this group like just made those two movies and like Duncan Jacks, Ian Hunter, like just never made a movie again.
Right.
And it's
That's-
weird too. Like I don't remember it from Order of the Black Eagle, but I noticed it here. Like when he's giving everyone the speech about like what they're gonna do, he does this unblinking thing that makes him almost seem like a villain. Like especially when he's sitting at
Yeah.
the dinner table and he's looking out at everyone. Like it's like I know the guy's trying to like be serious, but it also just comes off as like a little bit creepy and evil.
If you look at this dude, just a picture of him, you're like, oh, no, he should be a Bond villain.
Yeah,
Or at least, you know,
yeah, he does give kind of
at
that
least a
vibe.
henchman.
That's
Like,
weird because like the vibe I got the confident, I got the confident kung fu guy vibe from him. Honestly, even though like it's completely unearned in terms of like his actions, once he dons the chainmail balaclava. But I just mean like when he's walking around in his lair and stuff, it's that confidence of like, what do I have to worry about? Like I could kick literally anyone's ass here, that sort of thing.
That is true.
Yeah, I don't know, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't it be weird if like I don't want to besmirch the guy, but I'm just saying like I have no idea any of the backstory behind any of this, but like you just go into like a Costco one day and he's like greeting you at the door or something. I'm just saying like I don't know what Ian Hunter's been up to since 1986 or 7 or so, but
I don't think he wants anyone to know.
perhaps not. Yeah, maybe he's very successful. I have no idea. I don't want to guess. I'm just saying like it'd just be weird. You're like walking
He's
around.
probably a real estate agent with an extensive sword collection.
Okay. And
That would be my guess.
he
for
collects
Duncan
ships
Jacks.
and bottles or ships in a
Yes.
bottle.
Ian Hunter?
Yeah.
His real name is Louis Dula.
What?
And he has an Instagram, so you can see
What?
he thinks
Wait,
about
you already like researched him?
This information was easy to find.
Oh.
He mostly posts political memes, making fun of our favorite president.
Thank God.
Yeah,
So he's not a shithead.
he's not a shithead, but he does post a lot. Like he's a shithead in a different way, in that all his Instagram is a bunch of memes with a bunch of words on them.
Okay.
He is.
So
very
he's alive
boomer.
and well and doing something.
He's at least not
Okay.
not a shithead in the traditional sense. Yeah,
I mean,
Yeah.
is he like still acting and like under his own name or
Absolutely
something?
not.
I don't think so.
Okay. I just wondered if like this was just like why we can't find anything because it was just a nom de plume of this genre.
Let me try to look him up on.
Sorry for the French. I apologize.
Nothing. Just points to Ian Hunter, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Get in, make 2 5 Jocks BMFcast movies, get out. He has 163 followers. I'm going to follow him on Instagram.
Do it. Well,
On my personal account.
let's just say he knew how to quit while he was ahead.
I'm pretty sure you could probably get a response back if with that few followers if you have any questions about the making of
Right.
either of these movies. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I don't think he's going to have to filter out a lot of noise with 163 followers.
Dude, I'll just DM him. I'll
Yeah,
be like, hey,
that's
hey,
what I mean.
Wait, do I actually have more followers than him?
Like, hey, Lewis, what are you doing?
Oh man.
Lewis, it's nice to talk to you. I wanted to ask you about. I could probably
Wait, actually don't write him.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, what are you doing?
The,
Well,
the
don't-
podcast
no,
is over.
it's
It
no,
doesn't matter.
it's not. Yeah,
Wait until the podcast ends.
I'm gonna I'll message him from my personal account.
Yeah,
No.
but at least wait till we're done. Like until
Wait
we say
until we're
like,
done, so
until
we-
you say goodbye, motherfuckers, at the end.
All right.
like you usually.
Yeah.
Which
Like,
probably
I-
never actually makes it on the show. And
I don't
people are
want-
like, what are you talking about?
I don't want Duncan Jacks' demise on my hands.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So speaking of demises,
Yeah. Guess what? Guess what? We don't have to do.
contact information?
Contact information.
I mean-
hey, did one of you guys say he's running marathons?
Who? No, what?
No.
Okay, because he's running marathons, literally running marathons.
Why would I
don't
didn't
know.
know his name prior to this. I mean, I know Eddie Izzard is running marathons or was,
Yeah.
but beyond that, I can't tell you anything about marathoning.
All right.
Uh,
We have one final piece of correspondence that we need to attend to. At least one final piece of correspondence.
okay. Is this what Jackie had promised?
Yes.
Have you?
I haven't even listened to it, so
Okay.
because I didn't want to.
So we'll let Jackie play, and then if we got anything else to say after that, we can do that, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Either that, or we could let Jackie sing us out.
No, I want to say
Okay.
something.
I'm trying to pull it up. Sorry, I forgot about this part.
No worries. Motorcycles going up and down Phillips.
It sounded like Angry Hornets.
There's a guy
I
wearing-
already know what this is and I just think it's funny because I had the same fucking song stuck in my head
Yeah.
of like wanting to do something silly with it.
For this?
Yes,
Oh.
I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Jackie!
I was like, I don't have talent enough to do anything with that, but I would like to do something silly and funny with it. Hold on, let me just get that stopped and
Yeah.
turned up and stuff.
All right, so...
And don't go just yet, guys.
Huh?
yeah.
So what?
What are you sewing? What are we sewing?
Are you introing?
Yeah, I was going to
Oh,
intro.
okay, yeah.
So sorry, Boston.
We're ready.
Okay, I'm just making sure. So Jackie sent me a message, and today, actually, at 4:19. I was like, so, of course I'm getting this in at the 0 hour because you guys had to quit during a hella busy week. LOL. But I figured I couldn't let you guys go out without one last track. Feel free to use it as we please. Lightly rewritten for some jokes.
And now the end is near, and so I'll face the final curtain. My friend, I'll say it clear, I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Regrets, I've had a few, like when we went to the sixth dimension. I did what I had to do, gave jocks and bags without exemption. I planned each charted course, well, Chuck did, each careful step along the byway, and more, much more than this, I did it my way. Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when I bit off more than I could chew. Son of a bitch, dinosaur. But through it all, when there was doubt, I ate it up and spit it out. I faced it all, and I stood tall and did it my way. I've loved, I've laughed and cried, I've had my fill, my share of losing. And now, as tears subside, I find it all so amusing to think I did all that, and may I say, not in a shy way. Oh no, not me. I did it my way. For what is a man? What has he got? If not himself, then he has not. Just say the things he truly feels, and not the words of one who kneels. The record shows I took the blows and did it my way. Yes, it was 5 jocks.
Thanks, Jackie.
Once again, I am thoroughly humbled by your skill and your
Yep.
dedication.
I was just waiting.
So-
There was like 4 seconds of silence at the end. I was like waiting for like a last like little joke or something. But
You would not
So-
get murdered in a karaoke bar for singing that.
Oh, God.
Especially not that well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm glad I didn't
So-
try to do anything with that song. I would have not done it.
No.
Well,
No.
I mean, but I would have done it my way.
Son of a bitch. Man.
yeah.
Final thoughts.
Well, staff, the crack, everybody, don't marry your cousin. Oh, those are Jerry's final thoughts. Sorry. I don't have any.
Well, thanks to you guys.
Us guys?
I mean, yeah. I mean, really.
Aw.
And thank you to like Asian Correspondent and Walt and Luis and Zark and Tobias and T-Strel and Silent Jen,
yes.
who it turns out we were checking the last episode she was present for. Step Up 3D.
Oh,
Episode 231.
Yeah.
She also the last 5 jocks she awarded was Samurai Cop, by the way. So she was here for Samurai Cop.
Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, and you know, thank you to everyone who's listened over the years and stuck with us and may have drifted off but came back or whatever. You know, we appreciate all the time that you guys spent and interacted with us on Twitter and retweeting and liking us on Facebook back when we used to post there, and you know, joining the Discord as well, which I still recommend because, like we said last week, site isn't going away, Discord isn't going away.
Yeah.
You know, it's all,
Discord. You can still Discord for as long as Discord is around, I would think.
yeah. And if Discord turns to shit for whatever reason, they do something stupid, we will find somewhere else to congregate, and we will let you know where that is. But you know, a lot changed in 15 years. You know, and I feel like it's a completely different world and different internet than the one we started in.
Yeah.
You know, it was a lot. I hate to put it this way, but it was a lot more fun place. That
15 years ago, the internet was way better. Yeah.
yeah, that it isn't.
Yeah,
anymore.
I don't think we're
and-
strictly doing like a things were better way back. Make the
No.
internet great again
And-
bullshit. I'm saying like it legitimately was a nicer, more pleasant place.
Yeah, and you know, I'm sure there's people that left because they felt like we got too political, but you know,
Or like half of a political joke every week. But
yeah,
but sometimes you have to say these things in a world that's
yeah, and Chuck
built like
alluded
shit.
to it last week, but I'm proud of all of us, honestly, like for changing with the times, because I know, like, if you listen to those early episodes, there's some things that all of us said that we were like, if one of us said it now, one of us would call the other one out on it.
right.
You know, and that's all, like, that's all it takes to be a good person. You know, is your friends being willing to say, hey man, you probably shouldn't say that. And sadly, there's not enough of this in the world right now.
Well, it's having someone that'll say that and willingness to listen and adapt. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the more important thing is to use the old cliche of mind is like a book. It only works when it's open, and I mean that works. In terms of like changing your perceptions to go with the times and
Right.
Yeah, and honestly, liking movies with boobs and explosions doesn't mean you think a certain way about everything.
Yeah.
It's not like this hard, fast rule of how you live your life. And
Two things that I will always love.
boobs and explosions.
Hell yes.
Yeah, yeah, and
I also love like equality and fairness for all people and letting people live their best life and be their best selves, be their true selves, and
yeah,
1% of the population not controlling 99% of the money, and et cetera, et cetera.
yeah, and honestly, just like and I know the rest of us feel this way too, is that we didn't want this to ever feel like it was excluding anyone.
Correct.
I mean,
Except if
unless
you're a
you-
shit ass.
well, yeah, if you're Nazi, get the fuck out.
Yeah.
I'm taking a hard line.
Well,
and saying
like people who just want to live their life, and the world
Right.
won't fucking leave them alone. And I know we have a lot of listeners that are that way, and that they stuck with us because we respect that, and we don't judge and say, "Oh no, that's wrong" or anything like that. What I think is wrong is voting and actively working for systems that fuck other people over for no reason. And I think that's why we leaned into political stuff, because my philosophy is people just want to be left alone to live their life.
Right.
That's all anybody really wants. It's like what Pat Finnerty says, everyone just wants a comfortable couch.
Yeah.
That's all we fucking want. It's just a comfortable couch. And hopefully we were that comfortable couch for people for a long time.
For
And
15 years.
yeah, but unlike that couch, I'm not going to pull out. Sorry.
yeah. But thank you to Chuck for sticking with us for so long, to helping shape that, shape our attitude also, that we weren't just going to shit on things. Because, like we started out kind of being like, you know what, let's make fun of all this stupid
It
shit.
felt like that was our job for a while, was to like 360 tomahawk dunk
but also
stuff.
like watching Robot Jocks and going, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, I think that recalibrated us. And then, Chuck even more, because his enthusiasm, I think, like exceeds any of us.
And his programming. Like,
Yeah.
Chuck has been our program director for
Yeah.
12 years. I don't know how long. I can't even comprehend how long anything is, but basically since he got here. He's been
Yeah.
programming our show. And so thank you, Chuck, for helping steer us in a different direction, and
Yeah.
steering us in any direction for a very long time, because I'm certain that this show would not have made it to 600 episodes without Chuck.
No, definitely not. But
Yeah, we would have been directionless. It would have been a rudder disaster.
But-
There's your last one, everyone. It's a
it
pun.
also, we also wouldn't have reached 600 without you, BJ, and without you, and Harlow especially. Like, thank you, dude. Like, you have given up a room of your house everywhere you've lived for this. A room strictly for all this
Yeah.
shit that you can't see in the live stream. You see some of it, but like, this whole table of just coated in equipment.
It's a couple of wires.
Yep.
Yeah, just a few. But I really like, I appreciate you giving us this place
Sure.
to be able to do this and to be able to be in person and do it.
And I appreciate the fact that you asked us to do
Yes.
this. Like,
This was your idea.
this one question.
I'm not taking that responsibility, credit, or whatever.
Blame.
Why do you say that? You're
I
the
know,
one
blame. That's
Yeah,
the
it
word
was
I'm
your
looking
idea.
You're the one who asked. We were the ones who hey, we listen to podcasts.
for. I know.
Have you heard of Idle
I
Thumbs?
thought we were, I thought we were gonna pretend I wasn't my fault or blame.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
No.
But,
No.
I
mean, but it's our fault for saying yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Your fault for asking, our fault for saying yes.
Sure. Equal
And your fault
parts.
for not, like, finding a way to back out of it before we did it. And then
Yeah.
accidentally
I just said
tripped
I
and-
just said I'm not going to pull out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
We
But
slipped, tripped,
Not a
and
euphemism. I mean,
600
it is,
years.
but it's not.
mm-hmm. But also, thanks to Jen for losing me a night a week
yeah.
for years and years and years and years. But
Oh, you only have one girl to thank. I have like at least two.
yeah. But I know. But
Thank you
I
to
was-
Jen from us.
Yeah.
She'll never hear this because
she never
nobody listens to this
No.
podcast. But just so you know, it's out in the universe, Jen. Thank you
Mm-hmm.
for letting us have him for a night a week for several years.
Yeah, and we were all friends long before we started doing this,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll still be friends long after.
Oh,
I
yeah,
still like
gross.
not only doing this, but memories of us just playing like the endless set list on Rock Band, long before we started doing this podcast. Shit like that will always be a part of me. And same with this. And I really what.
Kyle in the chat. I'm still here, El Wapo.
For now, buddy.
No, the beautiful thing about that line is he's immediately killed right.
Yeah. But thank you to everyone who subscribed and stuck with it, and the people who listened multiple times. That's still amazing to me. Like, it's just amazing. I think we're funny. I don't know how many other people think we're funny.
We make each other laugh
But-
a lot, and that's
Yeah, and that's I think that's what I've been trying to find the words to say, but it's like it's rare in your life that you meet people that you are that in sync with, the way that we all, and as Chuck included, are in sync with each other, and just click and make jokes and get it and build off each other, and you get lucky sometimes.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like we all got lucky that we were friends the way we were, and still are. And
For sure.
I
I hung out with Chuck this past summer, and within like the first 10 minutes of seeing him, we were laughing like idiots, just guffawing. And that kind of thing, like, it's special. Like, I do it with you guys all the time, but, I haven't seen Chuck in a while, so I miss him.
Yeah.
And he's not
Yeah.
here, so I have to mention him special. But that's that kind of thing. It's like we can not see each other for a couple months and pop back up, and we immediately are back in that clique. And we kind of do that every week. We don't see each other. Sometimes we don't talk to each other in the intervening time between the podcasts, and then we jump back in here, and it's immediately like chit chat, jokes, laughter, fights. Sometimes, But
rare.
it's the fights
Very rare.
like where we kiss and make up afterwards.
Yeah, sincerity words. I don't know if I have any. I mean, yes, all of these things. Yes, I'm not discounting those. I just don't. I do not. Call it my color scheme on the spectrum, but I do not express these things well. So I abstain. But know that
We
they're
know
there.
what you mean.
Know that they're there. It's
Yeah.
just
No. Yeah, we know.
yeah.
But everyone out there, like, if you've got friends like that, cherish them. And hell, if you decide to do a podcast together, let me know, and I'll listen to it.
I won't, but I don't listen to podcasts, so
I listen to podcasts.
I'll be happy that you're doing it.
Yeah. But thanks again. And if you want to keep up with us, send an email. The email still works.
Email still works.
And
Discord
request
is there.
the Discord, because that's where we are. That's basically our internet presence at this point, because Twitter's dead. I'm on Blue Sky. I'm on Instagram. You can find me. But join the Discord if you really want to hang out with a lot of the awesome, awesome people that have been with us for so long and continue to be with us.
Yep.
So, and hey, it's
It's time to say bye.
I guess it is.
I was been waiting for that.
Yeah, since the NSYNC joke.
Yeah.
I know. I could see it in your eyes.
I know. I'm just saying, it was right there.
Garfield phone lives here, so Garfield phone lives at the studio.
Yeah, Garfield is custody of himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do
And,
not possess Garfield. Much like you can't own a dog or cat. They are companions.
Yeah. And I will say, you can You can join the Patreon at the free level, and we will send updates about anything that we've got going on.
Right.
So it'll at least, you might not be able to view any of the paid stuff, but you'll at least be kept up with what we've got going on. Because I do have listen to the last episode. I talked about the podcast that I'm going to do.
And Jens and I are finishing out We Have All the Time in the World.
Mm-hmm.
It has been... life has been events for me.
Yeah.
I try not to tell you guys this stuff, but work sucks, and I feel like shit most of the time. So
Yeah.
I try to keep the general world out of that kind of business. But but yes, we will be posting new episodes soon. We're going to finish that out. That is our plan.
Yeah, and all of us still want to.
We have all the time in the world. To
No. I
Yeah.
just the stuff. I'm reacting to things in the chat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to do it.
Everyone is deciding what
Yeah.
happens to Garfield.
We're going to send Garfield.
Let's see
off
if
to
let's
the
see if I can do this without like tearing up. That'll do, Garfield. That'll do.
Yeah. But yeah, this isn't the end. It's maybe the end of the BMFcast, but this isn't the end of all the stuff that
This is see you later,
we
not
want to do.
goodbye.
Yeah, because we'll have other stuff. We just need a break. Let's put it that way. So
Wait,
All
do you
right.
have a list of everybody that was? Yes, you do. Okay.
I'm pretty sure I named everyone that had guested, or I actually Wendy was at an episode as well. Vampiros Lesbos. Why do I remember that? Because there were like 20 people in the house at that time.
That was such a good episode to have everybody in the house for. So I'm saying that was such a
Yeah.
God, yeah,
Weird movie.
the Clowndo movie.
Yeah.
God, go figure.
yeah. I've been saying it's not a movie that you would think it would earn more jokes and fun, but no, it's
No.
somber and boring and sad nudity.
Yep.
And Clowndos.
Yeah.
We're
And
still the
Clownos.
number one result for Clowndo.
That's true.
Yeah. We'll always have that.
Yeah, we'll always have Clowndo.
And I made sure that the last episode had the title so that when anyone does a Google search for that phrase, it will show up. Hopefully us first. Can you tell we're stalling because we just don't want to end?
Yeah.
But we probably should.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yep.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ, and for Chuck, Shiny Lights T-Strel, Tobias, Tad, Luis, Walt, Silent Jen, our Asian correspondent, and Wendy, I guess. This is BMFcast out. Goodbye, motherfuckers. We love you.
Well, everybody, thanks for coming to the live stream. This has been fun.
Thanks for coming to see which one of us will cry on air.
Nope. Closest I got was saying I missed Chuck last episode.
No, I'm just going to continue to cry out my nose because apparently that's my new thing.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I guess I'm choking back emotion, and allergies at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like, well, you can only do one.
Yeah. Yeah. But thanks for being there, guys, and listening to us say our dumb shit week after week after week.
Are you guys all just saying random G.I. Joe people?
I
what's
think he has been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, who? What?
I don't know. I was just...
Yeah, Robert has been just naming random G.I. Joe guys for the past 45 minutes.
Tunnel Rat.
Crazy Legs? Did he
Well,
throw
to the
Crazy
point,
Legs in there?
like to the point where I was wondering if he had not caught up with where we were. Like if he paused it and then resumed it.
Beachhead.
Because I think Kyle had done that one time too, where he's like commenting on things, and we're like, dude, we're like we're a half hour ahead now, Brady.
Deep Six.
Oh man,
Firefly.
I
Snow Job.
I did not have GI Joes.
Oh,
I had
I did.
two. One of them was Crazy Legs.
I mean, I was going to say, you don't want really start because I could keep going.
Oh, I believe you.
I did have the one of the helicopters. It was a hand-me-down.
Did you have Wild Bill that came with it?
No,
Not the helicopter?
No, just the helicopter.
Pork chop sandwiches. Holy shit! Get the fuck out of here.
I was watching something on YouTube, and they referenced the Fensler films. I
Yeah.
was like, oh shit, I forgot these people are my age.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
It's always bizarre when your YouTube channels mix, like someone references one of the other channels or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, I guess obviously you guys would know each other. You're in the same field, or like you're in the same realm. It's just always weird. Like I was watching something, very, narrow window as far as like who's in it, but I just think somebody made a reference about this, the size of somebody because he's a very tall fellow, and I was just like, oh, that he's on a completely other show. It was like that's
Yeah, that would happen to me on Twitter. Like when I talk with one of the other podcasts, somebody be like, "Wait, you guys know each other?" I'm like, "Yeah, we kind of do the same thing." So, yeah, we talk to each other. And then they're all gone. We outlasted all but two of them.
Yeah.
So.
I think even though I feel about them all very differently, I think all of the late night show people actually are friends. the two Jimmys
Right now,
and Steven. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just mean you think they would be competitors or whatever, but it's like I think they're all kind of like there's enough room to go around. Like people like who they like, and there's enough audience for whoever.
Yeah.
Well, and with
Late night TV is dying anyway, so nobody cares. They're getting paychecks.
Well, I feel like the podcast, the bad movie podcast thing too, like everyone kind of found their niche.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, all right, here's a bunch of B movies. We're just going to tell you which ones are awesome. You've probably never seen any of these, or you vaguely remember it, you know. And then yeah, it's that bad. It's just like, here's a big blockbuster. We're going to make fun of it, And the other ones became way more joke focused on and focused on doing like movies people knew.
Yeah.
Whereas I think we were the ones who focused on like, nobody's ever seen this and it's awesome.
We gave up on that pretty early.
Yeah.
In fact, I think there was a point where I was like, are we ever going to watch a movie that somebody has seen again?
No.
No.
It was more fun doing it our way.
Yeah.
I think Jens is still pissed we never did. Yeah. I think Jens is still pissed we didn't do Cutthroat Island.
Yeah.
But that's like a 2-hour movie
and
you don't think it's bad. Right?
I was pushing hard for Cutthroat Island.
Yeah.
Blame Chuck. Blame Chuck for any...
No, I didn't say don't do Cutthroat Island. I remember I suggested it for the last one. That was one of those suggestions I made.
Yeah.
I said perhaps we should do a giant... we're not doing Waterworld because it's really not that bad. It's just it's known as
dull.
being... Well, it's kind of a dull movie, but its reputation is just based on its budgetary problems, not anything else about it. Cutthroat Island is kind of that way. It's... that it cost a lot of money and made like $2, so... Yeah. I'm just saying...
I don't think it's a bad movie. I just think it... Yeah. I don't remember it being a bad movie from the last time I saw it.
It's goofy, but it's not bad.
It just... Yeah. And that's the thing. Like, man, we've talked this subject to death, but so many movies...
Last chance to talk it.
Yeah. So many movies, like... Here's some shit I'll leave you with. So many movies get a reputation for being, for being bad or being the worst movie ever. Go watch that movie and see if it's actually really that bad, because it's probably not. There are a billion bad movies out there, and there are 100 worst movies. None of them are the ones that you hear people saying are the worst movies.
I just don't understand why. I guess the thing is, I guess I wanted us to become the influencer people, because I feel like what is happening so much now, especially on the internet, that we have just railed against is, like the cheerleader gets on and says, oh my God, like Tom Cruise's The Mummy is the worst movie of the year, and it's the worst movie he's ever made. And it's like, maybe, but also I don't even think it's the worst Tom Cruise movie. And why did you all leap on this one movie? It just felt like one person was leading the charge and everybody was like, yeah, fuck that thing. And it's like, y'all haven't even seen that many. I can name 5 other movies that came out that year that were worse.
I was going to say 5 movies that are worse came out that day.
Yeah.
Well, and now everyone, like, so much of what I see fed to me on Facebook, which I fucking hate, is like, this movie was a flop because it didn't make $1 billion. So many
people are so obsessed with the
people
financial
are
part.
obsessed with the financials of movies, and it's like, who fucking cares?
Yeah, unless you're getting paid.
That does determine what else gets made.
It does,
unfortunately.
But also, it's just like.
But also, $1 billion movies, like
people who are
just ignore the $1 billion.
There are people
movies.
trying to say that Disney has not recouped their $4 billion from buying Star Wars.
Oh, they're idiots.
Yeah, They're complete fucking
They did
idiots.
that with like one movie.
Yeah, and
They
they're
didn't
acting
even have
like
to do it with movies. They could
Yeah.
do it with merchandise.
and they found like this one article that says they didn't.
yeah.
And
One
it's
article.
like, well, if you discount the if you discount the Disney stuff and the licensing and the toys, they haven't made their money back. And it's
why
like,
would you? Disney doesn't
Yeah,
on their
it's like-
balance sheets, you fucking knob.
I mean, do you really think like Disney makes a lot
No
of
offense
money
to knobs.
on like anything? I mean, I'm sure 90% of the money they make on any of their products is through merchandising.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like
That's-
Frozen. I mean, probably did pretty well in the box office, but I bet it did way better on bed sheets and all the other shit that they
Yeah.
sold. You know, like I'm just
Yeah,
saying, like
it's just the internet is it's just a different place now, man.
It's
like
a very stupid place. Let's not go there.
yeah,
That's why we're getting off the internet. You're never going to see.
yeah,
us.
and
Oh,
I
you'll
just
see us again.
I really miss Twitter being what it used to be, where it was like
rock and roll Wild West Twitter.
Well,
in
we
like
could
2006.
where like you could be like, man, Detention's
It
a
wasn't around
fucking
then.
crazy movie. Like people should check this out, and people would retweet you and reply like, yeah, man, Detention, holy shit.
I like,
you know-
I mean,
Wait,
I
was
joined
it
Twitter in
2007?
2008, I believe, and that was like super early. Like people
I'm
were
just
still getting
remembering-
single word names. and
Twitter was founded in 2006.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I joined in 2009. Like, I want to say I joined like a week or two after we started the show because I feel like in the early episodes I was joking about how I was never going to have a Twitter.
Yeah.
And then by episode 3 or 4, I was like, hey, how about if I just,
I sent-
I did it basically to promote the show.
I sent tweets with my phone. With my
Yeah.
I
Texted
I
tweets
texted
to it.
tweets.
That's why they were 140 characters.
Yep.
Just like, well, SNSs were 160, so you had to have the enough room to put the shit before it that wouldn't be part of the tweet. That's why it was 120.
Right. Yep. I remember back then because okay, so I didn't tweet with my first phone. My first cell phone was a E865. It was basically like the phone right before the Razor.
I was going to say I had a StarTex. I definitely wasn't tweeting on that.
Yeah. And then my next phone was one I was tweeting from.
Yeah, I had like an old Altel one.
R.I.P.
Like-
and fuck Altel.
Yeah, but it was it was basically the one they were using on X-Files in like the late 90s seasons.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you have the Altel plan where like any call in 904 was free?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the shit.
Yeah, and it was like $29 a month.
Yeah, 35 bucks a
Yeah,
month.
it was nothing back then.
It's
And yeah,
ridiculous.
the only reason I haven't deleted my Twitter account is so I can click links when people send them,
Same.
and it's not, and it doesn't feed me bullshit. Even though I know I should
Actually,
just delete it.
I'm logged in as the BMFcast anywhere that
Oh, really?
counts.
Yeah.
I just realized, like, there's a fact that, like, my first cell phone didn't have games.
Buttons.
Well, no, I mean, it had buttons, but I mean, like, all you could do was dial. I think it had a display to show
First
you the
cell
number you
phone
dialed.
had a crank on the side, and you had to talk to the
Yeah.
operator to.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know how you would explain that to somebody, like, not having even, like, Snake or anything, like, basic on
Yeah.
it. Like, you literally can make a call, and that was it. Like, that, had send, end, and a dial pad.
Yeah. Well, it just had that 7-segment LCD display.
Yeah. I mean, you could only do numbers. But yeah, it's like, I mean, getting a Nokia, like having Snake and like a couple of minor apps was like, oh my god, you could do things with this. I can write notes that take me forever to type because.
Yeah.
What was
That was before T9.
What was that? Yeah, I was gonna say, T9 was the
T-Mobile,
shortcut. Yeah,
yeah.
the shortcut thing. But
Not
then-
T-Mobile's. It was who did T9?
Oh.
I don't know. Yeah, I just didn't have the money or credit to get a cell phone before like 2005 or 6.
I got a hand-me-down one, so like it was one of those like
Yeah.
we would like you to have a phone because it only costs us like $10 a month to add you on, and
Right.
if you're in trouble here.
My parents could have done that, but
Yeah.
they didn't.
Yeah, I had a Kyocera for a while until I got a BlackBerry Storm was what I started the show having.
I remember.
That was the worst phone
I
in
know.
the history of phones.
No, the
Most awful.
worst phone I ever had.
So much trouble.
Worst phone I ever had was the predecessor to the Sidekick was like the M300. Like it was a T-Mobile Windows
Yeah.
phone. I don't know, something like that. It was I think it was like a slide out keyboard sideways
Yep.
phone. But God,
Jen had that.
I mean, Windows ME or not ME, what that was CE was fucking atrocious.
Yeah.
ME was an actual desktop thing for a minute.
So I had that phone, then I had the side flipper with a keyboard on it, which was incredible. That was the phone I tweeted from. And then Motorola Droid X was my next phone. I went straight to touchscreen smartphones.
I think I avoided the
Motorola Droid X was still one of the best built phones, like touchscreen cell phones fucking ever, because it had an all aluminum raised edge case.
I just hated it. I don't remember. I don't think it was a touchscreen one, but the first Razor I hated because it had the weird offset keys. Like 8 was tiny and like 9, 8, or like 7 and 9 were like they look like they 7, 8, 9.
It looked good, but it was
yeah. It was very hard to type on.
Well, also the fucking Razor was notoriously problematic in like not problematic like we would use the word today, but like the hinges
It
snapped.
just sucked.
Yeah, the hinges snapped. It was a terrible performing phone.
What was the one they were always snapping on Breaking Bad? Was it a Razor?
Well, I don't know.
No, it was a generic like
That was probably just a burner phone, right?
Motorola or something. Or
I mean, those were probably just like those burner phones. Well, now they have burner phones that are like little Android devices, but I mean,
Yeah.
they're
Really tough to snap.
You can buy those little snap burner phones still.
Yeah.
The flip ones, I mean.
that was great. I will miss. I think the last thing I
pack and deliver like UPS trucks.
I think the last thing I did with that Motorola phone was snap it in half and throw it in the trash, which is a great idea. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm Harbco.
so
I'm
it's about
Slappy.
time to snap that podcast and throw it in the trash.
snap.
Yep. Goodbye to that SIM card.
But we
All
already
your numbers are stored on it.
now we just have to snap we already snapped the podcast. We have to snap the live
Yep.
stream now.
Yep. If you're not on the Discord, send us an email and get an invite.
Yep. We'll be
Join
there.
us. That's how
Yeah.
you'll keep up.
Yep. And if you find any chainmail balaclavas on Etsy, let us know.
Any chainmail Balenciaga balaclavas.
Yeah, Balenciaga balaclavas. God, that's hard to say. Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know why I started that.
But thanks for listening. Thanks for being here tonight, and we really appreciate you.
Thanks for being our friends. We love you.
And I love you
Thank
guys.
you for being
You
a
too, bud.
friend.
Crash and burn, man.
Crash and burn.
Going something always through thick and thin. Oh.
Yep.
You are pals and confidants.
So long, and thanks for all
You're
the
a pal
jocks.
and a confidant.
You're welcome.
Anyway, that's Golden Girls theme for you. by
We're
the
all
way.
going off to the farm.
But
Goodbye.
it was a song before the Golden Girls. Now you know that. Goodbye.